right? Kids and Teens Team Innovate 2025. Thank you so much and have a wonderful time.
So it means at the end of today, we are going to be rewarding some people, and importantly, with certain innovative ideas rolled out. And I would like to say this now that it's very possible by the end of you should go and throw your idea to the trash, that it doesn't worth anything. Idea is key. If you go to sell an idea that would do away with heat in a place that is cold, the idea held high, and also know that your idea, you just need to fan it to flame and you will a destination. It is a process that you've been through this event, and two personalities, one of which will give us a speech. And the first on the list I will introduce is the VC of Kaduna State University, none other but Professor Abdullahi I. Musa. Can you put your hands together for him? He's our first speaker, but he's also the host, our host today. But the professor, the VC of this very noble institution, is represented by none other but the Director of Student Affairs, Professor M.K. Dauda. Please, can you put your hands together for him? You're welcome, sir. Please, let's put our hands together for him. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We also have, representing the British Council Nigeria, Miss Perpetua Indy Emmanuel. Are you here? Yes. Please put your hands together for her. So we're going to be receiving the first speaker. In the order of the introduction, we're going to be having the first speaker, who is the representative of the VC of CASU, Professor M.K. Dauda. You're welcome, please. Can you put your hands together for him as he takes the podium?
The parents here present, the teachers, and most importantly, the kids and teens innovators. You are most welcome to this great occasion. When the MC invited one child to come and deliver national anthem, he said something to motivate the child and the remaining kids here. Unknown to him, he is not just motivating the kids, but also he motivated me, because he made me to remember two experiences while I was young. I want to share with you as an experience so that we learn, because we learn from experience. I remember when I was in JS1, my form master asked me to participate in a debate. Kids, do you know what happened? The day he told me that I'm going to participate in that debate, I fell sick. He said, "We will wait for you until you recover, then you come and participate." After 2 days, we had the debate. And ever since, I developed interest, and I discovered that skill that, yes, I can speak before the public. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is, every one of you here is talented. You have your own talent. All we need to do is to help you discover your talent. So please, round of applause for yourself for the talent given by our Creator. Let me give the brief message by the Vice Chancellor of Kaduna State University, Professor Abdullahi Ibrahim Musa, my humble self, MK Dauda, the Dean of Student Affairs, representing him. So the next message is from the Vice Chancellor of Kaduna State University. Distinguished guests, the parents, the teachers, the kids and teens, most importantly, the young innovators of tomorrow. As the Vice Chancellor of Kaduna State University, I am honored to stand before you and to be part of this exciting Kids and Teens Innovative Fest 2025. We gather here to celebrate creativity, ingenuity, and innovative spirit of young minds from across the great state and beyond. As written boldly here, the theme of this year's fest, Young Minds, Big Ideas, Creating Tomorrow, Today, resonates deeply with me. It highlights the boundaries potential that and to push boundaries. The world needs your unique perspective to push boundaries. The world needs your unique perspective, your creativity, and your passion. So therefore, we urge you to continue exploring, innovating, and pushing the frontiers of what is possible. Surround yourself with people who inspire and motivate you. Seek out mentors. Learn from their experience and build on their knowledge. As we embark on this journey, remember that innovation is not just about technology. It's about creativity. It is about empathy. And it's also about solving real-world problems. Whether you are interested in science, art, or any other field, your contribution can make a significant impact. So in conclusion, I want to leave you with a message of hope and encouragement. Believe in yourself, your abilities, and your potentials. The future belongs to you, and it's being created today. Let's work together to build a brighter, more innovative, and more sustainable tomorrow. To all the young innovators here today, I say, keep dreaming, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries. The world is waiting for your big ideas. Thank you, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you once again. This is the message from the Vice Chancellor. But as the Dean Student Affairs, I shared one of my experience with you. And I want to share the other one. by experience, simply because we learn from experience. So try to learn from others. Be humble. Whatever you see, try to follow it and then learn. Stay inspired all the time. Read books. Read your books. Whatever you see. Even these games you are playing, just come and play a game or thing. Just think over it and things come into reality. And most importantly, embrace failure. We learn from mistakes. If you make mistakes, that is not the end of life. That is not the end of your career. We learn from mistakes. Whatever you do, you make mistakes, then it's part of learning. Put that at the back of your mind. And always stay passionate. Be passionate on what you are doing. To cite an example with myself, I have passion in teaching, and that's why you are seeing me here. Because of the passion I have, I returned 3 offers from 3 lucrative organizations, simply because I have passion. So having passion is not everything about money. It's not just to get money just for no. Have passion in what you are doing. Like this one, if you are passionate in what you are doing, you will keep doing good things. But if you don't have passion in what you are doing, the more you do whatever you are getting, you will not appreciate it. And most importantly, keep practicing. Whatever idea you develop, you put it into reality, not just say I'm done with it. Try and expand, and then practice it more and more. By so doing, you will discover so many things. You are our hope. So please try and do the right thing so that we will build tomorrow today. And also, be collaborative. Be collaborative. Be resilient. And always respect your parents. Respect your parents. Respect your teachers. There's this house adage that says the Ghana. So if you respect them, you will disclose so many things from their experience, and you will learn. So in this conclusion, I am proud. I'm proud to say that I am here with you, and I will assure you, I'm just going to say it very simply. You should collaborate. Anything comes to come. Collaborate and give you support. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow, awesome time with the Dean of Student Affairs. Profound things he said, one of which is stay inspired, read books, read your books. Stay inspired, read books, read your books. And he said something I'm going to take time to explain later, which is embrace failure. Did you hear me? There's something that is called failing successfully. So I'll take some 30 seconds to explain. But before then, we will be welcoming the project coordinator reaching out of School Children Initiative, Mr. Ezra Anga. You're welcome. We also have our Director of Human Resources, Kat Subeb, Madam Ali Sani, is representing the chairman, Kat Subeb, who was around and he stepped out. He's still back. Okay, not back yet. Please, can you welcome him? Immense support to what we do here. We also need to welcome The next person who is Madam Hassan Musa. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. At this point, I will invite the representative of the British Council Nigeria, Head of English and School Education, none other than Ms. Perpetual Indy. Higher than mine, the life is more big, and then let's take it quick. Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed guests. Good morning, kids and teens, and welcome to iFest Festival. I'd like to mention that I like the idea of him saying I should project louder than him. I'm a teacher, and I'm sure you can all hear me. Can you all hear me? If that doesn't happen in any event where I speak, I will question myself. It's normal. I was in Lagos the moment I greeted my teachers. That was the response I got. They responded in a voice trying to imitate me. Thank you for this opportunity to stand here and speak to us. But I would like to mention that I am representing the head of English and school programs for the British Council. His name is Mr. Daniel Swashisha. Unfortunately, he made efforts to prepare for some things came up. So on his behalf, I will just be a mouthpiece and say what my boss told me to come and say. Remember, that teacher, I don't get money, I'm not from British Council. Do we agree? Thank you very much. Thank you, God bless you. Yes, so it's good to be here. I know that when he called me and said I was going to represent you, that's one question. Am I representing you or your office? He said, what's the difference? I said, there's a big difference. Let me know first. And he said that. So here we're going to talk about how teachers can come into play to support our children, and how we can't just, if we are teachers, we're instructors, we're also innovators. So if we do not know what we're teaching, there's going to be a huge gap in the classroom. I don't like the idea that I will ask my participants probably in the training issue, probably in the task, and they tell me, I'll go back home and give my children. Then who is guiding your kids? Who is teaching them how to do what you are unable to do? So let's look at the Nigerian context. Let's have a background to this. Recent research shows that over 60 million of Nigerian population are youth. Yes, young adults from the age of 15 to 29. It also shows that 5 million of these people, great minds seated here, enter into an employable age every year. So whatever it is that is our employable age, at least we have 5 million people entering that age every year out of the 60 million youths that we have. But we also noted, according to this survey, that 25% of them are not in education employment of any form. We may think that the idea of being a teacher does not affect me or you. If you're a parent, you're a teacher, because you're also an instructor and a guardian. So what causes most problem we have with the education system is that the teaching process ends in the classroom. When we get home, there is no guidance for our learners. Now, the Nigerian education challenge is something we're all familiar with. from the national education sector, we find that millions of children are still out of school. Do we agree? I have a neighbor that took up the task of training a little girl. And barely 2 or 3 years into the program, because he was sponsoring the girl, the parents started taxing him whenever the girl was sick. And he was always responsible for medical bills, kayan sallah, and all of that. Not long into it, a young man stood up and decided he wants to marry the girl, simply because he was told that her adopted father is a general. And the man said, "Nadia, my help, stop." So we as parents are sometimes the problem. If the mother didn't accept this, it won't come. And that was how that girl's education ended. Because the general said to her, "If you're already married, you're no longer my responsibility. The idea was for me to sponsor your education because I see you as a bright girl, and not for me to sponsor your husband." Okay? So we have millions of children still out of school. It's our responsibility to ensure that we do something and not wait for the government. There is a widespread learning poverty and foundational skill gap. These are the challenges we have, and we know it. And of all of this, most importantly, teachers lack structured, continuous professional support. These teachers, these instructors, these people that are going to sit here today and be judges for this innovative festival lack structured, continuous professional support. What do we do about it? This is where the English and school education programs comes to play. We're going to talk a little bit on our collaboration and how we've tried to help. Now, the national education sector has a vision. It is one, reduce out of school children. If we do that, it takes care of our first problem, having millions of children still out of school. And then tackle learning poverty. When our teachers have structured and continuous professional support, we will tackle the learning poverty we have. I like what the professor said, that one day his teacher shut the doors and said, "What's the problem with mathematics?" He tackled the learning poverty in that classroom, and we're enjoying the fruits of that labor. Please, let's put our hands together for that one teacher that made a difference. He made a difference. Now, can we be that one parent that would make a difference? How do we do it? The problem, we don't hold back and expect government. Emphasis is on teachers' capacity because they are the backbone of this renewal and this reform we hope to get. A minute. Now, based on that, I have mentioned that the goal for the Nigerian education sector is to move Nigeria from resource-based to a knowledge-based economy. That's one. It aims at reducing out-of-school children and also a reduction of learning poverty. It also hopes to increase in skill and human capital for the labor market. So these are its strategic goals. But how do we achieve it? What are our priorities? Equitable access to basic education. That's one. Inclusive quality education and learning outcome. Strengthen governance and management. Yes. But who are our enablers? 360 Maaas HUB? Yes, they are our enablers. We can't go into the field all alone. 360 Maaas HUB is one. We have data and digitization, collaboration. We mentioned a lot of collaborators here. Thank you for all you do. Partnerships. We encourage partnerships so that we can take this. It's not a fight for one person or for one organization or for Kaduna State government. I must mention that Kaduna State government is doing so much in the education sector. I will be very happy because I hope to be benefiting very soon from one of Ubasani's arrangements. Yes, in that case, it means that we need digital upskilling. We as teachers, we as parents, we as innovators Because we need to teach and guide these young minds so that what they spend their time doing is not the wrong thing when they access the internet. How do we do this? We're not saying, I was speaking somewhere 2 weeks back, and then a parent said to me he wants to take away his daughter's handset. And I said, why? He said he doesn't understand that it seems there's somebody that always calls her at night. And I started laughing. I said, okay, and you think taking the phone away would stop that? If she can't speak with him, she's going to find a way to see him. I think you'd rather call her and have a conversation with her and find out what she wants. The idea is this. If you take away innovation, if you take away technology from these children, they're going to get it elsewhere, where you do not have control over what they are assessing. So we as parents, as teachers, we need to build our digital literacy. First of all, we need to support blended learning in our system, educational system, so that teaching leaves this face-to-face scenario alone, so that teaching doesn't end in the classroom. One of the programs that British Council does is ensure that we try to teach our teachers how to even have WhatsApp lessons. All of this came after COVID, because we realized that we're spending months at home doing nothing and we couldn't teach. Then the radio programs came in. The parents would tune the radio quite all right though, and tell the children to sit down. But if you're not there to guide them, are they listening to what they're saying? They're wasting their time. But if I'm to have a WhatsApp class, I know how many persons are online. I can see you. I can call your names. I can call names in a WhatsApp session and say, answer, raise up your hands. We can digitally raise up our hands, don't we? Yes. So we're taking that social media idea and bringing it into the learning process. We can't do that if we do not digitally upskill ourselves as parents and as teachers. So we should enable technology-driven pedagogy too, and provide access to online continuous professional development and collaboration. I was asked to be brief. I'm trying. Okay, so some of the programs we do is Sprint, Stride, Step, and then something we call instructional leadership courses and inclusive pedagogy. I wish I could talk more on this, but STEP simply looks at strengthening teachers' English proficiency. You may wonder, what are we doing with English? Thank you, Ma, for bringing A into STEM and giving us art students an opportunity to shine also. Yes, the idea is this. English is our instructional language. Do we teach mathematics in Hausa? No, we don't teach it in Igbo. We teach it in English. So if I'm to discuss discounts, for example, where am I going to start? If I have poverty of language skill, it's going to be a problem. I like one of the STEP's audios that talks about how a math teacher introduced discounts to her learners. She simply said, I went to the market to buy scarves. She started by a story. She said, I was told that if I buy 3, I get a 20% discount. No, if I buy 2 and above, I get a 20% discount. So she ordered for 3, and all the children started laughing. She now asks, based on my story, have you ever experienced a discount? Come and see feedback now. They understood what discount is. It takes away this whole idea of coming to define and write and tell us to cram. When that child leaves the classroom and you ask him what he had studied that day, would he forget? No, it comes from the idea of the story of the teacher. I am a teacher. It's so glaring, Abby. I do not know how to be brief, but I'll round up immediately. So please, as we come here to support our learners, which is really good, as we support our kids, we ourselves need to digitally upskill ourselves so that what advice our children would be getting would not be from the wrong hands. It's already, we can't change it. Technology has practically taken over the world. I wish I could tell my learners, do not use AI to answer my questions, but I know I'll be wasting my time. So I now rather will teach them how best to use it so that you can now talk to me, pick up the idea, explain it in your own terms, and then I can now guide you how it should work. Thank you very much. On behalf of Franshishak Daniel, I hope we have a nice time today.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, one of the best qualities of a teacher is the ability to manage time. Ability to manage time. Can we one more time put our hands together for Perpetua? She said something, and she said a lot. I will just pick one of them and hit on it, which is that you should digitally upskill yourself. But it is not a one-time thing. You have to stay relevant in this time, you have to be digitally upskilling yourself. If you upskill yourself right now and you stay there, in the next 1 week, you're obsolete. In fact, if you bring out an MVP today, if you don't update it, your MVP is obsolete. So to stay relevant, you have to what? Be digitally upscaling. You have to continually learn. I know that the students here have, I'm not a teacher, but I know that they have a short attention span. So that's why we're just reiterating the fact that if you're here to speak, let's try and keep it simple, because we have other activities we need to finish up today. Our next speaker would be Mr. Ezra Angai, but he just stepped out for something, and I want to welcome his back. I want to welcome Malam Aliyu Sani, Director of Human Resources, Katsubev. You're welcome. Ahmed. Please, let's put our hands together for him. He's here. But before Mr. Ezra Angai, the project coordinator reaching out of school children, comes up, he's going to be speaking to us a short time. Failing successfully is learning why you failed and ensure that the next time you are going to repeat the same task, you will use the lessons and the note of why you failed the previous time not to fail this time that you are attempting. So embracing failure is not making you a failure. A failure is a destination, failing is a process. And if you can always learn from the process why you failed, you definitely are going to be succeeding, and you will get to a point in your life where you're successful. Put your hands together as we make welcome Mr. Ezra, please.
Thank you so much. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, distinguished kids and teens. It's my pleasure to stand before you this morning. Let me be quick to confess that I came for a panel discussion, but I've been asked to speak, so I'll speak off the cuff. There's no presentation that I've prepared to share with you this morning. As usual, I consider it a pleasure and a privilege to speak with young people, because young people are the future today, they are the future tomorrow. And in thinking about what to say within these few seconds, I thought, what would be the important message that I would love to pass to each and every one of you? And for me, it's the message of light. Why the message of light? While I was trying to prepare for the panel discussion, I remembered growing up, one of my favorite cartoons is called Super Ted. A lot of you might not know it, but maybe every person born in the 80s might remember Super Ted. Super Ted is a cartoon that talks about a teddy bear that when the teddy bear was manufactured, they found something wrong with the teddy bear. So they threw the teddy bear into a dark store. And when the teddy bear was there to be destroyed or whatever, there's a sporty man. That's the other character in the cartoon. Then the sporty man came and discovered Super Ted. He took Super Ted to Mother Nature, and Mother Nature gave Super Ted superpowers. When she gave him the superpowers, then the cartoon says he took him to Mother Nature gave him superpowers, and that's where became Super Ted. Then he tears open, like Superman, he tears open his vest, and then you have that Super Ted, and he could fly, he could defeat villains, and so on and so forth. But that spoke to me, that every young person, when you come into the world, you are deployed with a light in your heart. This is why when you sleep, you dream. You can't tell the origins of the dreams. When you wake up and walk in your community, you go to a community where a child has never interacted with education, yet he's able to pick straws and make a car, right? When we were growing up as well, there's something we used to do. Maybe we invented the mobile phone, I don't know. We'll take 2 milk tins, put a rope, tie them, and then one person will go to one end, the other person will hold it at the other end, and then we could converse with each other. This was long before telephones came into being. That says to me that each and every one of you seated here comes with a unique light. Why did God put the light inside of you? So that nobody can extinguish it. So even if you are a child out of school, in a remote village, in Kubo, or wherever, the light of your imagination can be sparked from your environment. Not every child will get the opportunity to sit here in this hall. Not every child will get the opportunity to go to a classroom. But I believe that what Maaas HUB has been able to do is to open our eyes to the fact that every child has the power of that imagination. Every child has the power of that light. And sometimes it's crazy. We need to change as parents, as guardians, as teachers. We need to change. You also need to change. We're in a world where everybody is overwhelmed. Parents are overwhelmed. It's difficult to understand why your child is on the phone 24/7. In your world, that's called laziness. That's called distraction. In their world, that's called invention, because that becomes the source of every creativity. So we have to find the middle ground, and I'm happy that we have this kind of mix between adults standing here and a lot of you kids and teens, that we can share our stories, we can share our experiences, but more than anything, inspire you to dig and pick that light that is in your heart. And like Super Ted, if you are a child, that sometimes you feel like you're not understood, sometimes you feel like you can't just relate with the world. Remember the light and the power that God put in you for that imagination, and look within the environment as your lab to be able to create, to be able to invent, to be able to innovate, and to truly inspire your world. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here and to give these few words. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Quickly, we are going to take a panel session. It will be anchored by none other but Paul Ishaya. And I would like to have the ushers make the necessary stage preparation for that. The panelist, first on the panelist is our last speaker, who is none other but Mr. Ezra Angai, the Director of Programs. Okay, Mr. Ezra Angai. He is the project coordinator Reaching Out of School Children Initiative. He's one of the discussants on the panel session. We also have Miss Naomi Apike. If I massacred your name, sorry about that. You should get used to that already. We know. All right. She is the Director of Programs and Lead Div Ops Trainer at Collab Innovation Hub in Kaduna. Put your hands together for Naomi. We also have Miss Juanita Miria Jesse. Are you here? Yes, you are here. If you're here, let me see your hand. All right. Put your hands together for Juanita, an IoT robotics enthusiast. So we are going to have you on stage. Since you're here, please, can everyone put your hands together for them while they take the stage? This discussion will be led by Paul Shire.
One, two. All right. Once again, good morning. Is it good afternoon yet? No. Good morning. So I need to do a quick announcement for how this session is going to be. We target to be the Spark Up session, and the Spark Up session is going to be this way. We wouldn't like our participants to be seated for too long to listen. So we're going to have it broken into sessions. So all our instructors would like to plead with you. If you are here, I believe most of you are here, please stand up, and the participants are going to go with you together to go and begin the work. So for the benefit of our parents and other participants, this is what is going to happen now. As we are carrying out the panel session, still in the hall, there's a session that's going to happen where we're going to see them doing teamwork and innovation. Why? Because they need to have, this space wouldn't contain them all if we're going to have all of the hackathon done here. So we have set out a space for them just back of the hall. So I would like to plead with Mr. Solomon. Are you close by? Okay, all instructors and their assistants, can you help me push or take them to where they're going to be? So I will start by this way. For those of you in coding tracks, can you stand up? Parents and everyone, please put your hands together for our wonderful participants. The coding track, please stand on your feet. All the coding track members, okay? Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. These are wonderful coders. So you're going to move together with your instructors to where you're going to have your boot camp happening. Please, can you move now as you set up? After this, we're going to quickly call on the judges to follow up with you. Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right, thank you very much. Next, we have those for robotics IoT. Robotics and IoT, are you here? Please stand up. Robotics IoT, please put your hands together for them. These guys are amazing, super amazing. These are the young minds innovating for tomorrow today. Please, you're going together with your instructors where your booth has been set. You start your work there. Please set up. Your judges will come right after you. And last track we have today is the design. The design team, are you here? Are you excited? Already excited again? Good. So we'll have you move together with your instructors to where you're going to set up and begin your work now. All right? If we say we're going to allow them be here to do it, it's more likely going to be a little bit boring because a lot of things, activities will be happening and the stage is going to be all filled up. So we have a space for them, like I said earlier, up there. So we have judges that will take up that. Please let me have it. Okay, before I call on the judges, we have one of the panelists. He is none other than CSE Umar Mohammed, CPE. CSC Umar Mohammed, CPE, joined the service of the Commission as a cadet Course 5 and has 16 years cognitive experience. He's also a certified polygraph examiner, and he is the head of cybercrime of the EFCC Kaduna Zonal Directorate. Please put your hands together for CSE Umar Mohammed. Please join up the panelists here. We need you here. Thank you. All right. Okay, for our judges today, as the Spark Up session is ongoing, we'd like our judges to join up. I have a list of them here. Now I'll be introducing them. All right. have quite a number of them. First on the list is Dr. Charles Diagi. He is the CEO of Bechtel Engineering and Technology Limited and the convener Southern Kaduna Tech Conference. Please put your hands together for Dr. Charles Diagi. He is here. All right. Thank you very much, sir. And next is Ms. Zara Yunusa, Chief Operation Officer at Roundstone Consulting. She's the Chief Operations Officer at Roundstone Consulting and the Community Manager for 3MTT program in Kaduna State. Please, she is here, seated. Okay, please put your hands together for her. She's one of our judges for today, too. Next on my list is Mr. Dams Gabriel. Mr. Dams Gabriel is lecturer, Computer Science Department, Kaduna State University. Please put your hands together for Mr. Dams. He is here as well. Okay, next I have Engineer Lawal Abdullahi. He is a renowned ICT expert and data engineer, founder and CEO of Fusion Network Limited. I think he's represented, if I'm not mistaken, here. All right, please. Put your hands together for the representatives from the Skills Fusion. Skills Fusion. I think I have them. All right, thank you. All right, next I have Mrs. Zibia M. Dabason, Head of Administration at the Kaduna Investment Promotion Agency. Please put your hands together for her. She is right here seated as well. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so I have, okay, for the Skills Fusion, I have a representative. Kate. Okay, I have Kate representing the SCAT companies. Skills Fusion. Good. Let's get it. All right, so next on the judges list with a representative of Mr. Oluwajimi Akintunde, the CTO and founding partner of TSC, the SCAT Companies Limited. He is ably represented by Yetunde Aisha, Head of Program and Partnership. All right, thank you very much for that. Please, you're going to be part of the judges. I will need, please, Bolu, can you help lead the judges where the teams are setting up so that we have everything done with? Okay. Next on my list is Mrs. Monica Agada Ojoma. She's a digital marketer and she is currently the head or the lead She Code Africa Kaduna chapter. Please put your hands together for her. She is here present. So these are our judges for today. I had to do that quickly because the program is going to be simultaneously happening while the team of coders, designers, and IoT robotics are up there carrying out their innovations. We'll be here having the session together, all happening in the same hall. So nobody is going to miss. Their concentration is going to be shared, and they'll be taxing to get that done with. All right, so we go straight up to the next, which is a panel discussion. All right, once again, can you put your hands together for my wonderful panelists seated here? They are going to be discussants for today's panel discussion. All right. I have some questions that have been sent, I believe, and we're going to do justice to them to discuss together. We are going to focus all our questions on the theme, Future Innovators, Young Minds, Big Ideas, Creating Tomorrow Today. Young minds, big ideas, creating tomorrow today. In the world of technology, we are in an era where a lot of innovations are happening. Things are spiking up every day. So here today in Nigeria, we don't like to be left behind, especially in Kaduna State, where we have students coming in from various schools represented. They're going to take this information back to the schools and continue with innovation wherever they find themselves. Now, I would like to open up with this question. And the question is going to be directed to the program coordinator out of school children, reaching out of school children, Mr. Ezra, sir. What is the single biggest social, economic, or logistical barrier that prevents promising young talent from out-of-school settings, from entering and thriving in the world of technology and innovation?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. And I can say, if I'm to answer directly, I can tell you very simply, poverty. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate with that. But then we have to go beyond poverty. And I say poverty because when we came on board at the Reaching Out of School Children project, the first objective was to identify where the out of school children were, how many of them are there, and what specific barriers led to them not going to school. And over 60% of the result of our mapping showed poverty and household issues. But beyond it, there's also the issue of recognition, knowing what alternatives are then there. When I was giving the pep talk, I spoke about the environment being the lab for innovation and creativity. This means that, and I gave some examples even from our generation where we had no access to technology, yet there was that spark of imagination that enabled us to come up with very simple games that we played. You know, these things can now be used as tools for pedagogy, ensuring that children in schools are able to learn with a visual imagery. So while poverty is a big factor, and this is true for many issues in Nigeria, for instance, but then recognition. Is it possible to look beyond the poverty to what resources are available? The second issue is with cultural norms. Basically, the information out there and the relevance of it to communities, to children, to parents. And I gave the example, or rather, somebody gave an example of a parent that said his daughter was on the phone for too long and she was talking to somebody, you know, and the response is to take the phone away. So that's throwing away the baby and the bath water rather than, and this is true of many households, you know. Children, up till today, a lot of parents are caught in the web of being so overwhelmed. There's so much information out there. There's so much technology out there. But how do you midwife your children through making it useful and relevant to themselves? So the information also needs to be out there. In this case, advocacy is important to do that. And what we're doing here today, this panel discussion, sitting and engaging the children themselves, seeing where the spark of creativity is and promoting it. These are things that are not hindered by poverty, you know. And then you spoke about logistics. There's also the issue of insecurity and lack of infrastructure, that the technology simply cannot go to the communities. In implementing our project, there are local governments that, you know, already indicate these flashpoints. And what we did as a project is to embed radio learning as a means of getting knowledge and information to children in hard-to-reach and vulnerable communities. So where, for instance, there are security issues, you don't have to jeopardize the life of the facilitator or the instructor, or even the children, gathering them in a formal school setting where they can be attacked or be vulnerable to kidnapping. But radio learning gives you that opportunity. So in the house of the Meangwa, in a sangaya, in a church, or whatever local structure exists, those radio sets that are preloaded with the information can be given to a cluster of children, and they can learn, so their learning is not hindered. So yes, while those barriers exist, like I've mentioned, for me, the important thing is to look at the loopholes of opportunity that can be exploited in order to ensure that our children learn and have access to technology. Thank you.
All right, very well then. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for him, please. It will interest you to know that the Kaduna State has this project reaching out of school children. In as much as we have those who are, of course, seated in the four walls of the classroom, there are those who are not having that same opportunity. They don't have that same scenario where we sit in the classroom to learn. But here we have this project ongoing and thank the governor of Kaduna State, Senator Obasani, for what he's doing as well. So I would like to also go to Juanita is a 13-year-old student in the secondary school. So I want to hear from her. How does innovation feel like? But this is how the question will be. What does innovation mean to you as a young student?
Innovation to me means using ideas, creativity, technology to solve problems, real life problems, which we can see today. It doesn't just mean creating new things, but it can also be seen as improving on things which already exist. For example, the cars we see today, if the cars which they made 20, 30 years ago were not innovated or designed more properly to fit the 21st century design, it would be local, it would be old. But if you look at the way they are innovating cars over and over again, you can notice that they are bringing up new ideas. In cars before, you would see that the speed limits or the way where the car moved fast can't be compared to cars which we see now. So that is a part of innovation. Then as a student, to me, it is using my own imagination, my thinking, my learning in order to solve problems, real life problems, which can make a positive difference in my community. I will incorporate the use of technology. As you can see, there's AI, artificial intelligence. By using my mind, my understanding, my brain, and then adding it to AI, it makes innovation easier, although it shouldn't actually depend only on that aspect. Our mind, our goals, our ideas, our creativity should also be incorporated into the innovation which we are planning to do. So when we get ideas, we are meant to innovate those ideas. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Wow, that was a wonderful thought from Juanita. When Mr. Ezra was earlier on talking about the telephone, we use these empty cans connecting a wire, and you have a kind of sound entering your ear. Yeah, echo. Yeah, very true. The echo. Now, going back over 30 years ago, you discover that landlines were common, and then it used to be dialing instead of pressing the buttons. Before the pressing of buttons came the 0062, that should be Kaduna code if I still recall, 062 062. There's a big is it compendium they call it, where you have all the numbers that of certain places you need to call and all that. But now all you need to do is just flip your phone, and there's this your hands your wristwatch, your smartwatch can dial a number and you can get across to anywhere in this world. And luckily for us, we have Elon Musk coming with this phone he called the Pi phone, where whether inside the cave you can put a call through. I don't know. I'm just trying to be imaginative about that though. But then, this is a good contribution from you. I love that. So can I still go back to you? Can you please tell us about a time, probably when you created something or imagined something new, or maybe you developed from something before?
Okay, it was actually my first time hearing about web development. When I owned my mom's phone, at that point in time, I didn't have my own tablet. So whenever I owned her phone, I would go to Google. It always fascinated me that when I click on a link, it opened the website and I could see information. And I always wondered, Mom, could I ever make my own website? So when 360 Maaas HUB came to our school, they had this competition, and I got a scholarship. At first, I went under the course of graphic design, which Mr. Paul taught me. Then secondly, we dove into web development. So when my teacher, Mr. Emmanuel, started teaching us, I was just so fascinated. I was eager to learn, how can I make my own website? Can I put it online? Can people get information from it? So on the first day, he told us that we needed to understand the theory parts. Of course, I was like, I want to go into the practical parts. Let me make my own website. So finally, he gave us an assignment to make our website. So when he started teaching us, I saw the coding, the website, the web page, and I was so happy that I was finally going to make my own website. At first, we just started with text, with links. We didn't really go into major web development. Then at the ending of the course, I realized that I could incorporate different ideas into the website. So I decided to sit down at home, and I just said I want to make my own personal website, which when I own my computer and I just go into it, I know that it was me that made it. So that was when I made my personal web page. When I started making it, there were problems that I faced, but I was able to overcome them. So from then on, I would say I'm really proud of making that web page. Although if experts see that, they'll be like, this is just a babies or minor kind of web page. But to me, I'm really proud of what I did because I was fascinated. I was happy that I was able to do something like that. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. Well, probably they may call you an amateur today, but tomorrow you'll be a professional as well. Have you read about Steve Jobs, where they started the Apple company? It was in the garage. And people thought that they were mad boys coming to just disturb the place or just do one or two stuff that wouldn't make waves. what is the most critical concept of cybersecurity? Probably is it data privacy, ethical hacking, or online safety that every future innovator must understand from day one?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
You see, when you're talking about the basic concept of cybersecurity, we target as CIA. The C stands for confidentiality, the I stands for integrity, and the A stands for availability. When we're talking about confidentiality, of course, anything that has to do with cybersecurity, the confidentiality of it is very important. Just like she's talking about the website that the personal website that she created, I believe she made a lot of passcodes, defense, where only she can get access to it. So that there won't be any intrusion, there won't be any hacking, and there won't be any any phony ideas to change whatever she built or to change whatever information that she's trying to instill in that web. You understand? Then we are talking about the integrity. All these things that we're talking about, why are we creating them? Why are we innovating them? These are very critical questions that we need to answer, or that is very key to whatever we are going to develop or whatever we are going to innovate. The integrity. What's the purpose of it? Why do we want to achieve it? Like that lady over there, this particular, is it Maaas HUB? Why did she create it? In brief, she explained to us why she created this movement. And seriously, I'm happy to be here. And that is where the issue of the integrity of the purpose came in. Then the last, which is the availability. Availability of tools, availability of resources, availability of the instruments that you need to what? Defend your cyber page, to defend your innovations, and to defend your credibility. You understand? The availability of those things is very key. Like the first speaker, he made mention of what's it called? So what's the name of your movement? Reaching out of school. Availability of the instrument that they need, the support system that they need, because I don't think it's just about them. I'm sure governments are involved. I'm sure other corporate partners are involved. So those are the availability of the instruments that we need. So when you talk of the critical concept of cybersecurity, they are simple. They are just like I said, they are CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and then the availability. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Please, we need to also, as young innovators, put cybersecurity in check. All right? If you don't understand how it works, you'll be either caught up as a victim, or you may likely enter into a
Can we hear me? Okay. So I mean, I don't think I entirely agree with the fact that interest is there. I think interest is there. For example, thinking of things like the phone, they are really talking effectively, we want to know what's happening there. But then as children grow older, I think focus sort of shifts because I mean, parents are more focused on kids to something in the future, they need to pay bills, and if you live in Nigeria type of economy, right? I think the interest is there, but I mean, there's certain factors that I think will typically affect the way people or kids will grow up to these things. So I think the most important, most of the panelists here have spoken about access. I feel like most of the kids do not have enough access to these things. The school's curriculums are focused more on theory than practical. So, I mean, even for us who went to universities, how many of us actually studied things that we could get our hands dirty? I read biochemistry, and I'm doing tech today. And I remember in my 400 level, or even in my 300 level, most of the things we were doing were more things you couldn't even see. We talked about biochemistry of the liver, biochemistry of sleep, I mean, photosynthesis and stuff like that. These are things you cannot see. But tech is not exactly like that. It's more practical than theoretical. And even some of the graduates that we're seeing now in computer science do not have some of the practical skills that are needed. And that's why, as much as possible, I think the most important one there, apart from maybe curriculum, which might be a little bit restrictive because people do not exactly, or we don't exactly have a say over, the curriculums that are being taught in the universities and secondary schools. But communities are important because when we get people or the kids to gather and see what is possible, they get to interact with other people. They are building together, just like Juanita said about, she came for this program, she started learning web development, and she met somebody who taught her that it was possible.
Right, thank you very much. It keeps the need for we are here for a serious business and I'm not playing game now.
I read it somewhere about the tech billionaire in India. We know of Silicon Valley in the US, where the top tech giant companies are there, and when you're looking for brains, they are also there. So if you're employed into that environment, it gives you opportunity of growth.
Stakeholders can involve it to make these innovations happen. Whether kids are in school, they are not in school, or there is one thing that they can do as well. The discussion is working together with what is happening out there. We have kids out there trying to bring us solutions. And let me also further say that the tracks are divided into four. Each of the children to go and they don't know what they're solving. Up to this morning, that they were sharing the book earlier on, groups earlier on, but they don't know what they're solving. Because now that we're told this is what they're going to solve. So they're starting hackathon already. We have 4 design groups on the design track. We have 4 groups on that coding. We have 4 groups on the IoT robotics. We have 2 groups. They are building to surprise us today. So we're looking forward to a wonderful innovation of fun. And by us creating,
we're going to check speed. We're going to check creativity, we're going to check teamwork, we're going to check a lot of things from the rubrics. So the judges are there doing justice to that as we go ahead with our panel discussion today. So permit me to reach out to the audience. Are we together? Are we enjoying this session? Okay, Mr. Solomon, Kefas, can you? Okay, so information reaching me, of course, after the hackathon up there, there's going to be picture-thon as well. Of course, after the hackathon up there, there's going to be picture-thon as well. They're going to be presenting whatever they've built. So please, let's stay put and stay anticipating whatever solutions they have for us today. Okay, I would like to also request, probably you have a question for the panelists here. It will interest you to know that time will be given for you to just ask 1, 2, or 3 questions if time will permit us as well. So please just get ready, jot down your question. There are team members around, you can just whisper to them and just give them or ask the question for the panelists. So we go straight ahead again. We're going to pick it up. I would like to still go back to Mr. Ezra. It will be nice to ask this very important question. Now, remember we'll be talking about children who are out of school. This question is, how can a innovative, either low-cost ingenuity. Ingenuity is using the resources or materials around to create solution. How can ingenuity or low-cost STEAM initiatives and simple challenges be delivered directly to marginalized communities to identify and engage children who lack access to formal school? So that's the question.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a really important question.
Yes.
And if you notice, I've spoken about the community, excuse me, the community or your environment being your lab of creativity. Juanita makes some really important and impressive points about the stimulation of creativity just by interacting with something you've not seen before. And this is our reality in Nigeria, especially in northern Nigeria, that some of our children will not have this opportunity. So your question is important in saying, first of all, how do we identify? One. Two, how do we then engage? How does it get to them in those communities? And for me, the single most important tool that we have is community engagement, partnerships, collaborations within established setups in the community. So under our program, for instance, the Reaching Out of School Children programs, we focus not just on formal but informal education. And a big part of that is dealing with the proprietors and heads of IQTEs, or Sangayas if you like. About 2 months ago, we signed an MOU with 25 of them that have agreed for the introduction of basic literacy and basic numeracy. That is the foundation. Because if Juanita doesn't have the opportunity to read, learn, or write, then it's almost impossible. If you drop a computer in front of her, she can't read what a website is, not to talk of sparking the imagination. So there also has to be that connection that does with the foundation. In terms of giving access to our out-of-school children, technology is one of the ways that this can possibly happen. I mentioned radio learning as a response to what you're talking about. Radio learning is cheaper than a laptop or a computer. Radio learning is cheaper, for instance, than a mobile digital device. Radio learning is cheaper than setting up a tech hub. But we can think outside the box. If, for instance, a Sangaya has 600 children under him, so rather than go and set up a tech hub somewhere in Bruningwari, it means that we can upskill the Alarama there, we can provide him some incentives, and then he does the teaching. He cares for the children, he interacts with them, so beside the religious knowledge, he can also administer Western education, he can administer tech teaching, but more than that, he himself has been upskilled. So he's relevant to himself. There are instances of Alaramas that have gone on to become lecturers. I'm sure the dean was speaking earlier in KASU. They have a faculty or a department that deals with religious knowledge. Some of them have received some support from KASU and they've transitioned to get their BSc. They become lecturers and then they make money. And some of the Alaramas said to us, look, one of my students became a medical doctor. The Sangha where other people are learning in now is one of my students that received this kind of intervention. He went on to become successful, and then he came back and rebuilt the Sangha where the children are learning. So importantly, we must engage with the community. The community is there. The community has resources. Two, we must spark the imagination of children. That when we go to these children, we don't treat them like we usually do, to say they are too young. She's 13, right? She said some things that simply blew my mind because I don't think like that. She said she's going to set up a website where information can be gotten. So not just the action, but the result is, she's thinking like that. And I'm looking at her and thinking, if I was saying this at her age, I'm probably a billionaire now. Because these are things that you can turn to solid gold and solid money. So within the community, again, advocacy that parents, guardians, teachers don't look at children as people whose ideas are not mature or amateur. Give them the opportunity for their innovation to blossom. Secondly, thirdly, the deployment of technology, relevant technology like radio learning that I mentioned, can be a good tool. Then we can use centers that already exist to become libraries, to become learning centers, or teaching canvases for our children where technology can be taught and they can merge it with their God-given imagination and creativity to come up with beautiful things. Sorry, not to take too much time. If you go on the internet, you'll see people who have made cars, people who have never gone to school. There's one guy that trended, he made a Lamborghini, if I'm not mistaken, and he drove the Lamborghini. But we don't know where he is, right? So hopefully, collaborators like myself, corporate organizations that are here, this is a charge to all of us. I have a responsibility within 4 years to return 200,000 children back to school. And we'll do our best within our mandate to do that. If we do that, we would have put a dent on the out-of-school problem in Kaduna State. But there are also CEOs and organizations here. There's the EFCC is here. When you see them on the banner, you think, what EFCC this? But look at what he's talking about, cybersecurity. That means also that even in the delivery of our innovation, it can be done with integrity. That means that Juanita, in doing a website, must focus to make sure that that website has CIA, right? I learned something new. Has CIA, you know, that her website is something that is marketable. So it's an amateur website, but the challenge to you is to then standardize, to say how our websites designs all around the world. If you go online, you can interact with a child in Brazil, in Singapore, right? This is possible. So how do they do their websites there, and are they marketable? And I encourage you to continue to build on that website, that someday you graduate it to an e-commerce platform where people are going to trade, and you're going to make a lot of money to come back and put some of our out-of-school children in school. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, I would like to say a little about COLA before I ask this question, I will throw this question to Mrs. Naomi rather. So COLA happened to be the trailblazing hub in Kaduna, that I know, and they have trained a lot of people. I think a number are working in Silicon Valley, correct? So, and we have a lot of them spread across major tech hubs within Kaduna that I can confidently say I've met a lot of them. So this question is to you, and you're going to do justice to it, I believe. What role do innovation hubs like CoLab and the likes play in preparing the next generation of tech-driven problem solvers?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think it's super important. So innovation hubs, I think, are like a bridge for people to be able to express themselves, especially because some of the schools may not be well equipped to handle some of the ideas that some of the kids might have. I'll give you several examples. I had a meeting with, I think, a 15-year-old couple of months back, and he came saying that he wanted to learn how to code because he feels like the kids in his Islamia don't exactly, maybe he wants them to be able to code using Arabic. And I think that that is one of the most brilliant ideas that I've heard in a while. Most of the time we focus on, okay, how can we teach the kids English? How can we teach them? But this 15-year-old guy was saying, I want to learn how to code so that I can, because I speak Arabic, I want to go back and teach these kids how to code in Arabic. And we provided the infrastructure that he needs. So we have talent, we have the structure, of course the building, the facilities, the internet, and all of that, to be able to help this person to achieve his dream. Now that is what I think innovation hubs can do, or the power of innovation hubs. They are like a bridge between these kids and their dreams. I'll give you another instance. A 14-year-old came to CoLab and he said, oh, I don't have a laptop, but I want to learn how to code. And our founder, Sanusi Ismaila, spoke to someone who was in the UK at the time, and that person said, oh, I have a spare laptop, I can give it out. And they sent the laptop to him, And he stayed for about a year. I think this was in 2021. And he was coding and he was going to school. This person currently works at GitHub as a technical writer because he was so determined. He knew exactly what he wanted. He went for it, and we provided the infrastructure. So innovation hubs are, again, the link, the bridge between people and their dreams. People, Mr. Ezra mentioned, things around infrastructure not being available for some of these people, access not being available, and some of these hubs provide that access. They provide a way for kids to, they are learning theory in their schools, and then they come to the innovation hubs, and then they see the practical aspects of it. So I think innovation hubs are very critical. They are very important to be able to see these kids actually achieve their dreams. Now imagine that we didn't have a 360 Maaas hub, and then we're not seeing some of the brilliant ideas that these kids are having today. So I really think that innovation hubs play a critical role. And I think that more schools, more organizations should partner with innovation hubs to be able to help the kids to actually see the practical aspects of these things. It's not just the theory. It's not just, just maybe having a dream. Your dreams can come to pass. We have kids that started at Collab very young. Some of them work at Google. Some of them work at Microsoft. Some of them work at GitHub, like I mentioned, this other guy, Abdulaziz, who works at GitHub. And he's written a book, by the way. And he's not 20 yet. So, I mean, this is super important. Innovation hubs they play an important role. So, I would appeal to every organization here, whether schools or any type of organization, that if you're thinking of maybe helping kids, especially within the tech space, partner with an innovation hub. Thank you very much.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, please do.
So just to follow up, shortly on what she said about innovation, especially with the introduction of Arabic for learning. Currently, there's an effort between the Federal Ministry of Education and the National Commission on Al-Majri. They are going to be meeting in Kano from Tuesday to come up with a framework for the introduction of Arabic officially in the administration of learning for IQTEs. This is a very big step because the children in those schools, they learn Arabic, but it's memory. If you drop them in Saudi Arabia, they are unable to trade. So if you introduce Arabic, you do two things. You teach them language as functional tool. So they are not only able to learn with the language, but the language itself. I mean, you have people who studied French in Nigerian universities. They work as high-profile interpreters to presidents. This means that you've created a pathway of possibility for the child who not only has the religious knowledge, because we need the morals. We've seen that technology can be harmful as well. So if you have the religious knowledge, it guides you in the acquisition of that knowledge. But then secondly, you really empower him. So he has knowledge of the language, he can trade, he can sell, he can do interpretation at high levels at embassies and so on and so forth. So this point about innovation is really important, that you are thinking about introducing about Arabic, how it can be important, and this is something that is happening at the national level, and hopefully by the first or second week in November, it will be passed officially by the council, and Arabic will be introduced as a method of administering learning to learners, especially in IQTs.
All right, very well then. So this is wonderful. I do appreciate what tech hubs in Kaduna and innovation hubs in Kaduna are doing. They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot. I can confidently say in the north, Kaduna is having a headway. Is having a headway, and then coming right behind. Permit me to be biased today. Is probably Kano or Jigawa. I don't know. They can struggle with the second position, but Kaduna is coming fourth. All right. So I think parents here seated, please do well to involve your children in any of the innovation or tech hubs within Kaduna. They're actually doing well. We have a number of them, and we've partnered with some of them here. Example are Grey Soft Technologies. We have also iFix, and of course, Collab is here, and several others, Almara Hub as well, and 360 Maaas Hub organizing this wonderful event. Thank you very much for your keen listening ears from students, from schools. Please don't miss any moment here. Don't miss any moment here. It's going to spark up something in you. as well as school administrators and teachers as well. Let's find a way of mixing together or having partnership with the hubs we have in Kaduna State. Even if it means going for excursion, it's going to do something very, very good, okay? And parents, this question is going to be leaning towards you, and I will have to ask our security expert here to help us with this. So this is the question. What is the shared responsibility between parents, schools, and the wider innovation ecosystem in creating a safe and ethical sandbox for young minds to experiment and innovate without compromising their safety or their intellectual property? So this question is around the safety in the use of internet and also their intellectual property. Thank you, sir.
You see, I like the last concept of that question, without compromising the safety, whatever they are going to innovate. Well, let me start it with this way. I study sociology and anthropology in my first degree. But right now, seriously, I cannot sponsor my child to go to university and study sociology or history or political science. Why? Because I've come to understand and accept that technology has already taken over the world. As parents, whether we like it or not, it is our duty and responsibility to make sure that, yes, our children, or we encourage them, not just encourage them, we push them, just like the Dean Student Affairs was pushed to study mathematics. Because had it been that teacher or that day he didn't lock the doors and the windows, he would have escaped. But the teacher pushed him or pushed them by locking the windows and the doors. My children, a boy and a girl, at the beginning I was encouraging the boy to study medicine, to become a medical doctor, which he agreed, and the girl to become nursing. They all agreed. To the extent that there was a time I was driving them, they were sitting at the back seat. I learned the boy was saying, or was telling the sister that I will not allow you to work in my hospital when you become a nurse. Do you understand? Few weeks ago, I received a text message from my son using his mother's phone that, Dad, I have changed my mind to become a medical doctor. I want to study robotic engineering. I was so proud. Seriously. I was so proud. And I replied him, I will do my possible best in any way I can to support your dreams. As parents, we must encourage our children to move away from all those courses, all these art courses. I'm not trying to discourage any, but let's just face the reality. Seriously, let's just face the reality. Then the second part of it, in our opening remarks, she made mention that yes, during the boot camp, the students are learning, they are teaching the student to learn and to do, or doing. Yes, this is very important. But the most important point here is how they do it. It's very key. So that what? They won't become our guests. What I mean our guests, become our suspects. I'm head in cybercrime section of Kaduna FCC Directorate. Anytime we arrested these internet fraudsters, I like engaging them. Especially the ones that we discovered they are deep into it. I learn a lot from those boys. Those boys are very intelligent. But where they got it wrong is, they learn it just like her. But the concept of that cybersecurity, the integrity, is not there. They missed it. Instead of CIA, they make it what? CA. They remove the integrity. They remove the integrity. Anytime I'm invited to come and discuss about cybersecurity, I don't like going with presentation, no. Because cybersecurity is something that you need to engage everybody in that hall. Why? Because we all have our share experience as far as internet, internet fraud is concerned. If you are not being defrauded, I'm very sure you know someone that fraud her, which they share their experiences and all that. So I like to make it open instead of just flipping presentation. No, no, no. Let's talk. Let's share our experience. I told you, those boys, they are very intelligent. And again, as parents, this is from my experience. Anytime we arrested those people, you will see their parent, once they will come to our office, and all they are interested, please release my son, release my son, release my son. And I used to ask them, are you not interested to know how deep this your child is as far as internet fraud is concerned? How far he has gone? That is the question that I used to ask them. Because to a very large extent, as parents, we have failed. Failed in the sense that we send our child to school. A child that we know that he do nothing. We are the one paying his bills from A to Z. Then all of a sudden, that child stop asking you of school fee, monies for handouts, upkeep, house rent, and you are comfortable, or you feel that, no, okay, probably my son is he's hustling now. That's the word. He's hustling. It's a red flag. A child that usually asks you of maintenance every two weeks or every month. You see that he spent 3 months without asking you a dime. And you are at home comfortably, doing nothing, or you feel, oh, my child is good now, he's taking care of himself. You don't mind to ask, how is he taking care of himself? There was a man that came to our office after his son was arrested. When we showed him the statement of account of his son, a 21-year-old boy, the inflow and outflow of that account was more than 35 million. And he was just a 200 level student in one of the institutions in Niger State. The father fainted instantly. Yes, he fainted instantly. Because his mother, she used to sell this corn and akara sometimes by the roadside. And the father is struggling. But when we show him the inflow and outflow of his son's account number, he fainted instantly. And the boy also has a Mercedes Benz that he bought and kept it in his friend's house. The father is not aware. That aside, there was a woman that came after we arrested her son. We arrested him with this bike. No, not power bike. This is a normal motorcycle that they used to drive. So after he was convicted, the mother now came and met me that that particular bike, that she was the one that bought it for the son. Because we take it as a proceed of crime. But she claimed that she was the one that bought it. How did you bought it for you? She said, because she came with her daughter and one army guy who claimed to be the daughter's boyfriend or fiancé, whatever. that she sent the money cash, because the girl, she's serving in Kaduna here, from Niger State. She's serving in Kaduna. Her story, she sent the money cash to the girl, and her boyfriend assists her to bought the bike here in Kaduna. I said, okay, no problem. Get us the documents. Get us the receipt, payment receipt, or whatever. After 2 days, they came back with the receipts. And they thought that we were not going to confirm it. We saw the addresses, we saw the shop, or whatever. I sent my boys there. They went and met one old man in the shop. And I think that they used to sell a bike in that shop. But then the shop was empty. But now the shop was empty, sorry. They now asked the man, now interview the man, okay, is this your receipt? He said, yes, that's his receipt, but it's belong that he sold the bike. And he's not aware of this transaction. In other words, he did not sell this bike. And he was able to recognize the signature on that receipt to one of his boys. And he said, oh, this signature, this handwriting is handwriting of one of my boy. And he's no longer with me. And he admitted that, look, he has nothing to do with this. This receipt was forged. He didn't sell this bike to these people. So after that, I now invited the mother. And I said, please, while coming, come with that army guy who claimed that he was the one that went to birth it. He couldn't come. I had to call him and threaten him because I've already have his information where he's serving. My intention was to rise to whichever commander is working to release him. And he knows that there's going to be a very serious problem to him. The mother came. The next thing, she went on her knee, crying, begging that she was sorry for misleading us. And I told her that from the onset, I know you are lying. But I just allow you to just make the foolish of yourself. And I told her the only reason why I will not detain you, because already her son is already in detention. I don't want to have a situation where I will detain a mother, her daughter, and her son. So I just let them go. So what I'm trying to say, as parents, we have a lot to do. Teachers and the community are just going to complement our effort. But we have a lot to do. Please, let me share this last, what's it called? 3 months ago, I received a petition in my section by one woman who wrote the petition on behalf of her 22-year son, who is a student of Cat Poly. The boy he's in charge of her. She's a retired civil servant in Kaduna here. But because the boy was very intelligent, he was the one managing her accounts. Because after her retirement, she's now into sales of all these kitchen, what's it called? Utensils. So the boy, the 22-year-old boy, is the one managing her account. If she needs money, she will just inform me, okay, I need I need to transfer this A and B to this. So their petition that they submitted to our office that they claim that one Friday, the boy was coming back from school. He entered a Kekena Pep and he was drugged and kidnapped. And in the process, those kidnappers, they took over what's it called? They collected the passcode, the password, of it. That was just a summary of the petition. Immediately I read it, and I sent it to my team, and I said, please, invite this woman to come. If she come, I want to see her, because there are some complaints that I become so interested that I need to have interface with the complainant. I'm interested, especially in this particular one, I'm interested on the kidnapping part. How does it happen? So when they came, I sat down with the mother, the uncle, and the boy. The mother and the uncle narrated the whole thing that they wrote in the petition, and I now turned and faced the boy. Please, I'm interested in this kidnapping scenario. How does it happen? And he repeat the same thing. And in their petition, they include the copy of the statement of accounts, where 22 million from that account was withdrawn. So in their petition, they are claiming that it was those kidnappers that got access to the account and withdraw that money. I now checked the timeline when they started moving money from that account. It was like 6 months ago, before the incident. But you know, when you're dealing with a complainant, someone that come crying for you, you can't accuse him of. I said, okay, no problem. We are going to see what we can do about this. I now left and called my team members. I said, look, these whole stories, I don't know what you guys think, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't buy it. And to me, that boy is my number one suspect. One of my team members, Aisha, she gave me one kind look. I didn't tell her anything. 2 days later, the mother came back and she wants to see me. I said, okay, bring her in. She came. That her son confesses that he was the one that withdrew or that spent that 22 million naira in that account. A 22-year-old boy, 22 million in that account. Because the mother, he's in control of the account. He received the debit alert and the credit alert. She knows nothing about it. I now said, go and bring the boy. I want to see him. She begged that please, she's not going to bring the boy. Immediately, the next thing, she wrote a letter of withdrawal, withdrawing that same petition that they submitted. So, we as parents, we have a lot to do. I don't know if I've digressed out from the questions,
Still in point.
but I feel we have a lot to do. We need to guide these boys. We need to show them the pathway. Even if we missed it during our time, but now is our responsibility to ensure that yes, people like her, they got it right. They stick to the rules of the game. Because every innovation, every activity has its pathway, has its guidelines. Any misstep from that guidelines, that's why it becomes a problem. This idea, our boys, almost all of them have this get rich quick syndrome in their head. They want to drive Mercedes-Benz. No, but none of them want to go to farm. None of them want to wait for their own time. They want to get it like this. And it will never work out that way. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. This has settled a lot of things about the question, because we are considering everything, stakeholders, the school, the parents, and the professional ecosystem. It is all inclusive. For our students here, from these stories we're given, the essence for this discussion today is for you to get it right, not to get it wrong. If you're venturing into tech, there is a guideline. There is an ethical guideline that will put you through for you not to fall into the wrong direction, for people not to scam you, and so that you will not become a scammer. So it's important we take note of that. And for parents, from the stories given, it is for us to take note. It is said that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. So we have a key responsibility. Most parents, or some parents rather, want to throw everything to the school. It doesn't work that way. The school don't have the sole responsibility of taking care of our children. But parents, we have to own it. Taking care of our children is our responsibility. The school has a part, but we have the sole part of it. Thank you very much for those wonderful contributions. So in as much as your intellectual property is concerned for you, Anita, here, there is a point where probably you're signing up contract with organizations. You need proper guidelines that will help you to sign the correct document, okay? Not to sign a document whereby 99% will go to the people and then 1% will come to you, and tomorrow when you grow up you begin crying, okay? All right, so we are here to put you through in these steps that will guide you. So the next question is going to be to you, or it's going to you straight. It says, do you think or do you feel students in schools are given enough opportunities to explore their innovative abilities and creativity?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
The reason why I give that answer is because if you look at the Western world, like abroad in America, they give a certain amount of time to fostering the children's creative minds, their ideas into something more powerful. But here in Nigeria, we focus more on exams, grades, position, coming first, second, third. We don't actually give the opportunity to those who aren't coming top in class to be able to give out their own ideas. Because you can't tell me that those who are coming last don't have ideas that they want to showcase. They have ideas that they want to show. So I believe that schools should give the opportunity to those ideas by, you know, collaborating with innovative hubs like Aunt Naomi said here, then also helping them bring out their ideas. There should be time set aside in schools to enable ideas, creative minds to come together and bring out whatever they have. Also, there should be mentorship. Children don't just sit down and get ideas. They don't know how to go about it. So I believe that apart from schools doing that, parents should also enable their children with mentoring them, and also people should help foster those ideas. Thank you.
Okay, that's quite wonderful. So, from what I read of recent in the new curriculum coming from the Federal Ministry of Education, there are subjects that are tilting towards that direction. And as an educationist, there are three cardinal points that every child is having. One is the cognitive, the second is the affective, and the third is the psychomotor. Now, the cognitive has to do with the intelligence of the child. For those who are coming first or whatsoever, well, that is their own. The affective has to do with their emotional intelligence, how they relate with people and how they interact. Then the psychomotor has to do with using skills in solving problems. So for me as a parent, if I go to my children's school and they say the head is not bringing fire, like one of my friends will say, come buy a kawuta. Well, I will try to see, okay, can she or can he venture into skills? What can the child put his hand to do? And will solve problems. Let's encourage our children. Let us not bring in unhealthy competition. Can't you see the child of Mr. A coming first? Do you have 3 heads, or is your head not matching up to the child? No. Let's have a revisit and see where the child fits in. In countries like China, I think they have adopted that a lot, where their children from primary school, they know where a mechanic or whatever the child can be, and so having that knowledge for we as parents and educationists helps us to properly train up these children to become better off. So I gave opportunity for questions from our audience. So the time is now. We're wrapping up this session. So I would like to give this opportunity. Has there been any question written? Let me see hands up by show of hands. Any question? Okay, I can see 1. I can see 2. Okay, 3. So that is it. Have you written it? Okay, I think I'll need help now so that we get the questions down here. So have you written yours? Okay, I think you need the microphone then, and the hand here. Okay, you. Okay, I'll get the microphone over to you quickly. So permit me to start with our key stakeholders here. Okay, you are asking a technical question. Now I'll give Juanita just a few minutes to answer that. Maybe just give you a heads up. We can't create a whole website here, but the question is from David, SS1 student from Lapan School. He said, how can a website be created? Can you answer him? Will the time be enough for you? Okay, just 3 steps. Then the rest can be discussed afterwards.
Okay, how can a website be created? First of all, you need to have an idea of what you want to create. What kind of website are you creating? Is it going to be an e-website? Is it going to be where information can be gotten? Then you need to have your software. There are different softwares that can enable you to make a website. There's VS Code, there's Sublime Text, and so many others. Then next, you need to know how you are going to align your code. How many pages are going to be in that website? Are you going to have the home page, the information page, the about page? How you are going to arrange everything. Then you need to work with your HTML, CSS, and Java. The HTML is where the main code comes out, the outline, the base work, where you make out everything you want. Then the CSS is where your creativity comes in. You put in the colors. If you want it to be a mixture of color contrast, that is where your CSS comes in. Then the Java is where the JavaScript is where you include interactive, how will I put it? Where your user can interact with your website, where you can ask questions. Like in Play Store, for example, when you are using an application, they will ask you, rate this app. That is a job of Java. So you can ask your users to answer some questions, ask them how they like using the website, some things which you can add into it or subtract, and so on and so forth. Then also avoid making mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, but try as much as possible not to make them. And when you make them, you need to have this ideology where, okay, a mistake can come from anywhere. Like, for example, I made a mistake in my website when I was making it, and the shocking part of it is because I didn't put my closing tag. That annoyed me so much. I said I was not going to make the website again, but like I said before, mistakes are inevitable. You need to think outside the box. Where could my mistake come from? The mistake could just be from a full stop that you missed, a comma, or like I said, a closing tag. So you need to have your eyes open, like I said. Then just ensure that you have fun while making it. Because some of us, we feel like making stuff are just boring. Like there was a question that was asked Ms. Naomi, why does our interest fade? So try to make it interactive, fun, and ensure that you have creativity, ideas put into the website. Thank you.
She just delivered a 6 months lecture. I'm telling you. All right, so King David, probably you want to venture into website development. You can meet Juanita and pay her some. Am I advertising for you? Yes, I am. She's my student, so please meet her and she's going to teach you. Tell your parents that you pay something. I wouldn't like to tell you the price tag, but she can tell you that, and you pay to her account, and then class begins. Thank you very much. The next person, I think.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Can I start? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Or is it morning?
Sir.
Yeah. Thank you, the panelists, for very, very informative session, and we are really grateful. I'm a parent. My name is Maina Sarah. I think when the person from EFCC was talking, it really got my ears up, because I think that's one of the areas that some of us parents are a bit skeptical about this technology thing. This Yahoo thing that everywhere you go now, it's what's reigning, especially among the youths. And in fact, I was telling one of my friends, I went to one of the eateries and some young boys just came and just stopped everybody from coming, bought almost all the chickens that were in the, and it's just kind of funny how young boys can just spend such amount of money. But my other concern is it possible for this tech to pay them at a younger age, at that early stage? Is it possible? Okay. You understand? So what are the things that they can do that is possible to actually get money at a young age? Because I see on the internet some boys in the US and other places, the Silicon Valley You see them very, very young people, and they are very wealthy, though they don't flaunt it the way our boys here flaunt it. So how do we know if they are doing the right thing? Like parents, and then another question, the second question I have is, when we see some of these boys that are around our neighborhoods, around my neighborhood, there are some boys I suspect they are into that. They don't go out in the morning, they go out in the evenings, and they spend a lot of crazy amount of money. How do we reach out to you to help us? Because some of us that have young sons, we think they are eyeing those guys, and we are afraid. So is there a way that we can reach out to the FCC or police or some, I don't know, but just to reach out and see how we can get these people in our communities checked? Thank you.
All right, sir. Okay, yeah, I wanted to even call you to start first. So, sir, you're coming next to answer the question, but she's coming in, she has handled a lot of them.
Okay, I think it's a very valid point that you've raised, in the sense that, you're saying, this tech stuff, is it something that is worthwhile? I would say yes. I have students that are doing their SciWest currently at CoLab that are paying their fees, and they're doing it legally. Some of them work for major tech companies. They sit under us, and we help to mentor and guide them. So we are we also have monitoring systems where we sort of try to monitor everything that they're doing. For example, if you're using CoLab's internet, you can't go to an illegal website. So we put some of these measures in place so that it's sort of helps to, will I say, curb some of those things. I'll give you an instance. We had an instance where an intern at CoLab hacked into a website, because we use Starlink, we use Elon Musk's Starlink, and he alerted us. They sent us mail that someone from this IP address through Starlink system got access to this website, and we tracked the person, and we blocked access to those kinds of sites, things like torrents, all these illegal websites and stuff. You cannot have access to them at CoLab. So those are some of the measures we put in place to ensure that some of these students, yes, they are young, they can do very crazy things at times, but we have put measures in place to ensure that they're doing the right thing at the right time. So we connect them to opportunities. Of course, like they get to learn. Some of them take certifications. They apply for jobs. We make sure that their portfolios are up to date. And some of them apply for jobs and they get them. We have students earning as much as 500K, and it's perfectly legal. And they are paying their fees. They're looking after their families. We have NYSC coppers that are earning same amounts of money. We had an intern at CoLab who wasn't even done with school, but he was earning. So a startup at CoLab raised some money, and we employed him. So part of the things that we also do is we also help the older ones to get empowered, and then they employ the younger ones. So we have that kind of system. It's a pipeline. We call it the talent pipeline. And then part of why it's called an ecosystem is different parts of things feed into each other. So we help older people who are trying to build products, older people who have ideas. We help them to get funding, help them to get a lot of things. And then they now employ some of these students, and then we can sort of be sure that these people are doing what they are supposed to do when they are supposed to do it. And for the ones who feel like we're not watching, we are. So they don't have access to any illegal sites whatsoever. So if we have any, I'm sure most of the innovation hubs too would typically attest to that. So I think tech, as early as possible, you can get a job in tech. I made mention of Abdulaziz, who works as a technical writer in GitHub. And this guy's not even 20 yet, and he's pretty much paying his fees and paying his siblings' school fees. But we know where the money is coming from. So it's very possible, very, very possible. There are many, many examples of students like that who are doing amazingly well, even though they are bad eggs, but they're still very good ones, right? So don't be afraid. Feel free to trust your kid with tech. And if you have any questions, I think if you feel like maybe your kid is engaging in maybe some form of activity, I think you can also like raise raise the alarm maybe to any of the tech hubs and to say, look, I think this person is brilliant, but they have the tendency to do this. So can we mentor them and guide them into doing something right? And I think that it will help. Thank you.
So regarding your second questions, if you go to our website, especially EFCC Kaduna website, you can see our phone numbers, the emails, and what's it called, the designated phone numbers that you can contact us, or you can even come in person. You understand? You can come in person. You can come and that you want to see the head cybercrime section. I'm the one. You can come and see me. You can come to our door freely and then make a complaint. We receive so many. We don't strike without information. We have what's it called? We have informants everywhere. And most of the strike we do, we get the information from the informant, their neighborhood and all that. And we don't just strike, we do our surveillance, we take our time to trail them, to see how they do it. Like she said, there are some that are doing legally and fantastically well. Once we realize that, yes, no, these people are legally earning whatever they are spending, we have a lot to do. We can't go and waste our time there. But the moment we realize that, no, we saw some questionable attitude on you or whatever, that's when we'll now go. Okay, I don't have the contact number here with me or offhand. I would have shared with you, but you can come straight to our office and lodge your information. Thank you. And the information will be treated confidentially. Yes.
Sorry, let me just add one thing. Mr. Ezra just reminded me. So I think as parents as well, we could also be very proactive. So if you notice that maybe your kid has that tendency, you can just put parental controls on their phones, on their tablets, especially for the ones who are young. I was watching a video, I think yesterday, about a game called Roblox and how it's a website for child predators. And you have a lot of kids as early as 7, 8, 9 playing games on Roblox, but the parents have no idea of what's going on. So we need to be able to put parental controls. I don't think that a young child should have a phone unsupervised, right? They shouldn't have one. They should go outside. I mean, we need to help them to have other engagements. Or the screen time should be very supervised. So you make sure that maybe the parental controls are always on. You always check their history, where the sites they are visiting, the places they are going to ensure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. I think it will help a lot, so that by the time their minds are fully developed, they can think on their own. They know that some things are wrong, there's some things I shouldn't do, and my parents will check. One of the things, my dad is a lawyer, he's a tech lawyer. My mom is a housewife, but they would always check what I'm doing at every point in time. They never let me just have or play with the internet just like that. No. My father would always ask me, this website, what is this? Where are you going to? What is this thing? What is this thing? Even till now, even in terms of maybe I can't just say I'm going out. I have to tell my mother and my father where I'm going to. But kids these days don't exactly have that. Yes, we know that we want to be free, but let's also sort of like build some form of control around these things as well. I think it will also help. Thank you, Mr. Ezra, for reminding me. Yeah.
Thank you. These are super amazing contributions, and I'll have the last person from the audience. Yes. And there's a straight question to Mr. Ezra, and it's going to be just as simple as it is to be answered. Yes.
Good afternoon to the panel of judges.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rahim Idris. I would just like a quick guide, or let me say, to hear your views on how the field of tech now is gradually or is rapidly growing up, and as a young teen coming up, everybody wants to venture into tech, and also we have some other professional courses who would like to want to prosper in it. What would you advise? How do you think it should be to either go into tech or to go into the university to study a tech-related course, or just to go and
Okay, that's a good question. So yes, you can go to the university and study a tech-related course, but I don't think it's necessary. I read biochemistry, right? My course had nothing to do with technology. But today I'm in tech, I'm doing cloud, I'm doing DevOps. So I feel like it doesn't matter what course you read. If tech is something that you want to go into, there are so many courses that are out there, free courses that you could check. If you want to do software engineering, for example, you could go to freecodecamp.org and sign up for a free course, and then you could just take your time and sit down and learn. There's also codecademy.com that you could go and learn tech. You could learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You could learn Python. You could, whatever it is you want to learn, everything is on the internet these days. So if you don't necessarily have to go and learn a course. And now that AI is trending these days, the world is moving towards AI. There are so many AI certifications that you could get. I happen to know a few ones. I mean, even this is for everyone. Oracle Cloud is giving out free certifications right now. It ends on the 31st of October. So if you just go to your phone and search for Race to Certification from Oracle Cloud, you could take any of their courses and get a free certification. GCP, that's Google Cloud, also has something like that as well. I don't know if it's still open. AWS, if you search for AWS Educate, that's Amazon Cloud. They also have a free certification. Even for cybersecurity professionals, there are free certifications that you can get that are equivalent to getting like a bachelor's degree for you to get your first entry-level job. So you don't necessarily have to have a university degree, because nowadays, employers will not ask you for your degree. They don't care. Anybody who is going to give you a job in tech today is going to ask you, what can you do? So nobody really, nowadays, education is super important. Please go to school. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you don't necessarily have to study computer engineering or any tech-related course. You can do that on your own. So you could, for example, your passion might be art, but you still want to do tech. You can do both.
Under the non-formal education, we're implementing what educators here will know, called the ABEP system, Accelerated Basic Education Program. This is a 9-month curriculum that gives second chance education to children. So when you go through that 9-month study, you are assessed, and then you can choose to go to ABEP 2 or ABEP 3. By the time you complete the 3 cohorts, you have a clear pathway either to go on and study in a university or to learn a skill. Because under the ABEP program, you are not only taught literacy, numeracy, but you're also taught life skills that after the completion of the 3 cohorts, you have a clear pathway to transition to a university, which enables you to get a degree or some certificate that helps you work. But just to circle back to the question that he asked, can all of us study tech, even if it's the most lucrative career pathway in the world? The obvious answer is no. The obvious answer is no. All the people sitting on this stage studied different things. I did English in ABU. He said he did sociology. She did biochemistry, right? But we're all seated on this stage using a microphone, using a phone, and probably AI to help us guiding in this presentation before we came here. Juanita did a website. He spoke about their website too in trying to contact EFCC. I think the reality, whatever you're studying, is to recognize that technology has come, technology is here to stay, and to learn how to use the technology to enhance whatever you are or whatever you are doing. I think this is what is relevant today. So whether you're in the university studying Hausa, then you can use AI to find out lucrative careers for Hausa degree holders, correct? You can use AI to learn, for instance, how you can enhance or upskill yourself to be able to be productive. This is the end goal for everybody, that when you get to the end of your life, you can look back with satisfaction that you've lived a good life. Part of living a good life, that you've lived what God put you on this earth to do. That can be happen if you allow the light to guide you and to find this path that God has designed for you to walk in. And technology used correctly will guide and help us get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful, wonderful contributions coming in. And to someone who's asking about your website, is it live already? Okay. So for the questions about our website, once it is live, you can go get information that will help you. Thank you very much, distinguished panelists. Panelists, it was worthwhile, and the questions are so much. This is start, and I would like to say this is start, and I would like to say thank you for your cooperation to help us have a wonderful panel session, and the questions you brought in actually made it to be lively. Thank you very much once again. We have up there our participants going through the rudiments of coming out with a solution to problems. We would like to solicit for parents that after we are done with this panel session, if you want to go and see what your child is doing, we plead that you don't say anything, you just look and leave. Alright? So you can take the staircase, someone behind their campus, are you upstanding? You go to direct them to the staircase that leads upstairs. The space is not that big, so we'd like to plead that we could do it in batches so that we have enough space to go around and see what they're doing. They're up there with the instructors and also, okay, 10 more minutes for them to finish? Oh, we have 10 minutes to go up. Okay, 10 more minutes. Alright, for everything. Okay, thank you very much for that information. Thank you very much, sir. And in closing, anybody that has final words? If not, then we can.
Okay, final words. Very final. Please let's allow our kids to go outside and touch us. So not every time pressing phone. Yes, it's very important, but let there be like, yes, please let them touch us, let them play around with it. Sometimes just them staring at the phone all the time isn't like great. But let's try to limit it, and then let's limit the interactions to, like communities. Let's put them in communities where they
take a collective shot together for the meeting. Yes. The parents will go up.
So please, you can take your time. Just go up. Say look and leave. Look to them. Just look what they're doing. You can come back. In the next 7 minutes, because 7 minutes ago, in the next 7 minutes, they'll be back here and the judge is seated. They are going to pitch the ideas. They will be judged. Certificates presented to them. And afterwards, have our prizes. And we are done with the first edition of Teens Innovate. Thank you so much. Parents, students, you can still go fellow students or bills upstairs. Yes. Just 5 minutes. You don't need to stay long. Just go up, stretch, don't to sit for so long. Go up, see them and come back. Thank you so much. Okay. Quickly, we will have one of us speak to us as we're preparing to come down. Please, when you go up, don't spend so much time. Just look and leave. Then we will ask dance. There's a charge of tell us what we expect. Some of us have been to a hackathon. We don't understand what's going to happen. The beginning set, he's what to expect to happen, and then just doing temperature between all.
Muhammad ya wuce.
Everybody should be rounding up, please. Yes, we should be rounding up. Kids, you should be rounding up, huh? IoT robotics, coding design. Get set with your things and start coming down. What are the stage pictures? Can they bring these tables? We need the tables down here, please. 2 at least, before the robotics brings their own down. Just stay now. Stay first. Stay first. We have 3 more minutes, please. Come down, please. 3 more minutes. So participants. Before we go on, I think it's the participants. The schools, yes. So if I have the list of the schools, I can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, some renovations. It's my wife that is, I just told her.
Okay, all participants, you should sit. The group participants this way.
Parents can stay here. The closer you are,
David.
Then we are going to have our judges seated here.
Now I have one question. Which laptop
Sorry, for clearer view, we just observed that they are going to be projecting. So the space for showcasing is here. We are sorry, parents. We are sorry you stay here. So that you have a better view. Sorry you stay here, yes. Let the participants stay here. We are very, very sorry for the stress. Please, parents, you stay here so that you have a clearer view. We don't want anything to block your view. Sorry about that, parents. Then participants, just switch. Come to this side. Judges, we really want you here. Our judges. Naomi. By now, everybody should be downstairs. Robotics, your tables, everything should be set up. Schools, have you given him schools? I think so, you can say.
All right. We are going to be setting up the stage for the pitchathon. They will be pitching the ideas they were given some 1 hour ago to come up with a product, physical product, value that will be given. So that presentation, that session is going to happen very soon. We're just setting up. But before then, I would like to recognize the presence of the following schools. If you are here and I mention your school, please, you can do well to give us a shout. First on the list, we have City Academy. City Academy, you're here. Thank you so much. We have Al-Arab School. Al-Arib. Okay, Al-Arib. All right, school, you're welcome. We also have Shelter Academy. Shelter Academy, you're welcome. We have Government Basic School, I guess. You are here. You are here. We have Lapan School. You're welcome. We have Tyke Academy, TYK. You're welcome. We have GSS, Government Secondary School Television. Government Secondary School Television. All right. We have the Cavendish School. The Cavendish School. Are you here? We also have Good News Academy. Good News Academy. Are you here? You are here. I can see you. All right. We have the Redeemers International. Redeemers International. We also have Ubec Smart School. Ubec Smart School, you're welcome. We have Adeyemo College. Adeyemo College, that's one of the oldest schools in Kaduna. Private schools. Adeyemo College, okay. Then we also have Yusra Academy. Are you here? All right. We have GSS Kabbalah Costain. GSS Kabbalah Costain. We have Bossede Prestige International School. Bossede Prestige International School. You're here. You're welcome. We have GSS Sabo, Government Secondary School Sabo. You're welcome. We also have Government Secondary School Bagado. Bagado. All right. Government Secondary School. Are you here? They are here. We have Government Girls Secondary School, Independence Way. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I believe whatever you are seeing here, you will be an evangelist back in your school. Do not say, I don't have a system, or I don't know how to do something. If you have, what you need to have is passion. What you need to have is the idea. And if you have that, you're already good to go. The system will come, the skill set will come, and you will go to the ends of the world. Thank you so much. Remain seated. Thank you. So let me call them.
Resource management, Kaduna State Subeb. Resource management, Kaduna State Subeb. Once I'm done introducing our judges and you've taken their seats, I will have him up to give us a speech before we start. First on the list of our judges is Mr. Charles Diagi. Mr. Charles Diagi is CEO, also the convener of Southern Kaduna Tech Conference. Can we put our hands together to make welcome Dr. Charles Diagi? All right. Second on the list, we have Ms. Zara Yunusa. Ms. Zara Yunusa. Ms. Zara is, yes, the Chief Operations Officer at Brownstone Consulting. Zara, are you here? Okay. We have second on the list, for Zibia. She takes her seat as well. Then we have a representative of Mr. Oluwa Jimmy Akintunde from the staff companies LLC. The person representing him is here today, Aisha, head of program. Alright, please let's clap for her as she takes a seat. With a driven technology and data science. Alright, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much. Na samu ya kanku dan Allah sai ku tafa ma malam.
Hello. Good afternoon. This is a very important, beautiful occasion to mark the maiden edition of the Maaas 360 HUB Kids Hackathon and Digital. I am here representing the acting executive chairman.
I know that's not your question.
I am also representing myself.
I'm watching this.
So I will talk the one that he told me to talk. And I will garnish it a little by own experiences. The acting executive chairman loved to have me here because he was there in the first day. And he identified strongly with this program. I said our lesson in web and our logistical support. And he wished the participants, the ones that are ill today, and we hope will win tomorrow. Wish them. So, to my kids, this is a goodwill message from the acting executive chairman of the Maaas HUB to you, He's wishing you all the best. He's wishing the participants, parents, more please, more success in their future. But when we speak about kids and technology, especially in the higher order, coding and IT robotics, we are actually mixing kerosene with fire. Or we are mixing the kerosene with fire to fire up imagination, fire up initiatives, fire up solutions to our daily lives. So, kids, you have the future in your hand today, create it. Whenever we think of technology and we start to remember our stories where we started it. Almost everybody will marvel at what is available now. Back then when we were in the university, in every user area, we never had it this good. We never had this opportunity. We were learning coding using Fortran language, using Pascal. We do not have even the graphical user interface that you see now and take for granted, the point and click, we don't have it. We used to have the disk operating system, DOS, and it is a command base. So you type C // DIR directly and you enter. You must crown all the points here. And then we do not have the luxury of writing program and simulating it instantly. We have to cut our cards, and stack it, and go to the Abubakar Computer Center mainframe, insert it, and then test run our program. Even a simple program of finding the area of a triangle. You know the area of a triangle by R square? Half by R. Then then you try to write a program, then you have to pack some cards, you go and insert it, and then the computer will punch some holes. If your program is right, when you bring out the holes, you will see them aligned. If there's a bug, your program is wrong, you bring out the cards, you see all of them scattered, and you have to debug and start all over again. But today, as we saw with our dear Juanita, we can write code even in our sleep. So please, our kids, take this opportunity, take the technology available to us today that was not available to your parents in the past, and use it well. Secondly, don't try to imagine something out of your context. When you are imagining solutions using technology, first imagine the solutions of problems around you. On daily basis, on weekly basis, on monthly basis, look around you, look at your house, look at your school. What are the things that happens around you commonly on daily basis? Those are where your thinking should be directed to find solutions. Don't go say you want to go to space. You have to learn something first, you have to do something, you have to make mistakes, you have to learn from your mistakes before you can build anything and do. So look around you, try to find solutions. In your school, look at what is happening. In your homes, look at what you're doing, what is being done. Always ask yourself, what can I do using technology to help solve this problem? And thirdly, is to be curious. Our curiosity quotient, you remember in growing up we used to have what we call intelligence quotient. And we also have curiosity quotient. Our curiosity quotient should always be high, and it can only be high by lifelong learning approach. Always try to learn. Learn from the books, learn from the mentors, learn from your peers, learn from your teachers, always. And then keep the flame of your curiosity alight. That way, you will never become old. As they say, old is just an age, and age is just a number. For your ability to think and become curious and to attempt to solve problems using technology. Part of my life I spent in IT, and then part of it in administration. Growing up in ABU, I read mathematics, and it was by force that you must go to computer center here and work at computer center. You must learn something. But some of us who took interest in the ICT, the technology component, we found ourselves doing better thereafter rather than the theoretical component of mathematics, even though it is also but you need to do more practice. And then I found myself in the computer division of NEPA, formerly NEPA, presently PhD and or whatever. And then the practice started there. And we went to accounts and we said, let us use, that was at the beginning of the use of Excel. When Windows came out, we had Excel. Before that, there was Lotus and so many things. So every time you find yourself in a situation, ask yourself, what can I do? What can technology right now help me do? You have all the instruments, but back then we only had Excel. We had access if you want to write program. So coming from Fortran and Pascal to now Access and Excel, and I don't even know what you guys are doing now. You must be doing something far more. You must be using some platforms that are far more advanced. So it is good for you to be curious, and it is also good for you to learn to solve problems within your space. Now lastly, there is nothing, there are always winners. So this hackathon is not about winners and losers. All of you are winners. Everybody that participated in this bootcamp is a winner one way or the other. Whether there is a trophy at the end of it or not, you are a winner automatically.
And when you raise your pitch,
it's always not about you. It's about the solution that you are bringing. And you can see the number of participants or partners that supported this program. They are all ready, willing, and able to support your pitch. When you raise your pitch here, it should not die here. We should find a way of, taking some of your pitches and developing them further. If it has something to do with education, especially basic education, where we are targeting to solve foundational literacy and numeracy, in SUBEB, we will gladly incubate you.
Thank you for this very opportunity. Are we still alive? Children, are we still alive? All right, I just want to make sure that we are alive. We've just sampled and said, I think what they want to do is for refreshment, just to refresh, we'll be giving a drink. Is that okay? Are we still alive? Even the smile should show that we are alive, huh? So I think let them please share the drinks. At least there is food, we said, but we don't want distraction. Is that okay? So what will happen is that at least let them give them some drinks so that while they take, they refresh. But pay attention to what we'll be doing. Are we together? Okay, so this is now the grand finale. I think what we'll be doing, please, parents, to encourage our children. Before we start, and before we say anything, our champions, can we listen? All right, we want parents to, before seeing what we have done, can parents put their hands together for what we have done, please? Thank you very, very much. All right, because I mentioned parents, for our guest schools, if you know you are still alive, you know that your bones are strong. Can you put your hands together for what you're about to see? Beautiful. Great. So, thank you very much. We are going to be having a hackathon. I like what we had our last presenter said. As much as it is having an image of competition, but everybody is a winner. The idea there is we want to see innovations from these kids. We want to see creativity. We want to see what can they do. You know what it means to task your brain. You've been given 1 hour to do something. I wish we had all the equipment so that the next time it will be our president, GCFR, and all the OR and the OR, they will be here to support so that we will do flying jets here. We hope so in Kasu, hosting again. All right? So what we'll be doing is that our judges are here. They will carefully observe what is going to be presented. The essence, what they have been trained during the boot camp is to do something. It's not just to display. They've been trained to solve a problem. Anywhere you see a problem, how will you use technology? Just as we had the last presenter, how can I use technology to solve? So one of the things that they were just tested, sort of, they were given problems. Those problems, let them provide solution to the problems. And let's listen for the sake of parents. There are 4 tracks that are going to be appearing here. Those 4 tracks are like this. We have one which is called design. Another track is called coding. Another track is called IoT. That's Internet of Things. Another track is called robotics. These are the 4 tracks. So they are into groups. So the order of calling I'll call them in 2 circles. The first circle I'm going to be calling, it's one group from design will come. They will tell us the problem. They will tell us their solution, what they were able to achieve in 1 hour. Then the next group will be coding groups. What were they able to code? Second, the third thing is the same coding, because the coding group are so many. So we call the coding again before the robotics. The robotics is the one that excites me. Very soon you will see robotics, they will create you. And then you will see your miniature moving. But let me just keep quiet first. Let's see before we do. So now, our judges, they will be observing, and then any team that comes, they are going to capture it at the top. If we call them group 1, we said they should brand their names. So some of them will come here and be either saying Barcelona or Tech Wizards. So whatever they call their names, let's see whether they are able to do that. Whatever they do, the judges, after taking notes, they finish, they deliberate, they score and keep. At the end, what happens? We are going to be collating everything, and then we present those who are ahead. Among champions, they are what? Is that true? Aha. So that's what we'll do. So we'll just congratulate all of them, and then we will go further. So thank you very much. So we want to call group 1. I don't know their names. They will come and tell us their names. That means the names of the group. Group 1, design. Are you ready? Yes, you come, and then you have 3 to 5 minutes. Once it is 5 minutes, they stop. Once they can make presentation in 3 minutes, that's beautiful. So come quickly, and then let's see what you have. While the design group 1, we want to have coding should be getting ready. I've already told you the circle. So can we appreciate them one more time, please? Thank you very much. These are our tech engineers. We hope that that's how they will be even in the White House.
Good morning, parents. Good afternoon, parents, and my fellow participants. My name is Rahma Ahmed. Allow us to introduce bus rider, Etu's bus rider. So the introduction.
day, parents and our fellow participants. My name is Olivia Mamanjabs, and here with me is.
My name is Khadija Sulaiman.
My name is Zaradin Musa.
My name is Rahma Ahmed.
My name is Zainab Alkali Baaba.
Now allow us to present Eto's safe right. Now allow us to present Eto's safety right. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our panel of judges, and our fellow participants. My name is Zainab Alkali Baaba. Allow me to introduce Eto's rights. Give us a minute, we are trying to load the presentation. Okay. So Eto's rights, let me introduce what it is all about. Eto's rights is an app that helps parents to be able to track their students Eto's rights is an app that has a bus riding feature that you can be able to book bus rides from your home to the school for your children as parents, and at the same time you can be able to track where they are to and fro from home to school. What's the next one? So who's saying I need something to be able to look at.
I think we have a compatibility issue, so we can have the next group, and except otherwise, maybe what you are going to present should be in a flash drive. We have a system here kept. When you bring it, it will be inserted. If there is going to be an issue with that, maybe we have an internet where you can mail whatever you're going to present. It will be downloaded into the system, so we don't have a hardware connection issue, and afterwards you just present what you have straight up. Thank you.
day, parents. Good day, parents, and our fellow participants. My name is Olivia Mamanjabs, and here with me is
Zaradin Musa.
Rahma Ahmad.
Khadija Sulaiman.
Zainab Alkali Baaba.
now allow us to present ATO's safety ride.
Good afternoon to you all. As my team members stated here, allow us to introduce ATOS Rides. ATOS Rides is an app that enables parents to book rides for their children, track their movements, and communicate with their drivers. To every solution, there's always a problem, right? So let me brush you through on what the problem actually is here. The problem is school runs. Anytime in the morning when a parent wakes up, the first thing they think of is, I have to take them to school and I have to pick them up. And sometimes it creates conflict between the mom and the dad because they're always saying, you pick them. No, you pick them all the time. So the problem here is lack of streamlined, efficient, and secure systems, leading to issues like manual errors, loss of time, safety, concerns for students, and so on. When you give a parent an option that, okay, you should think of hiring someone to take them to school, the first thing they say is, are they safe? So we have to create something safe for them, isn't it? The first problem is safety. Parents are always finding it hard to trust their children with someone else that they don't feel comfortable with, isn't it? And then the other problem is, when they're with that person, where do they go to? Don't you want to see where your children are going to when they're because they are not in the car? You can't see, but thank God for technology, you can be able to see now. And loss of time. Every time the teacher is always complaining, your child came late to school. Why? Open day. PTC. They're always complaining your child came late to school, your child is not meeting up with curricular activities and stuff like that. And most of the time it is due to lack of punctuality and late coming. So this is our problem. As I said earlier, here is the user persona of one of the parents I discussed with earlier on, not here, but in my community, to see what the problem is. She said, Mrs. David here said, I'm an accountant and a mother of two. Given the nature of my work, accountants work day to day from morning till night. She said, kids have to go to school every day and I have to drive 8.7 kilometers from my home, which is about 15 minutes, and picking them up after school right after my work is absolutely tiring. I asked her, I said, Mrs. David, what do you want us to do? Do you have something in mind that you would want to have, something tangible that you can be able to use to ease this problem? She said, I need something I can count on, or a platform that would ease this through the creation of car or bus services that are secure, tested, and trusted.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you about the solution. So the solution is our initiative provide an easy and reliable platform for booking transport like school buses for students. Parents can connect with trusted drivers, track buses in real time, and receive notification on their children's movement. This helps parents to ensure safety of their children, punctuality, and peace of mind for parents. Thank you.
Objectives. ATOS Right provides a
Okay, this is our prototype of what we have done, our welcoming page. This is This is our sign up page, the dashboard, and this is the track. Which one did you enter? This is where you can make payments. Our spatial future tracking. If you track that, it will tell you notification will be sent to you shortly. Why is it doing like this?
So basically what we are showing you here, basically what we are showing you here is that this is our special future, the tracking, because this is already out there. There's definitely a bus tracking app out there somewhere. So what makes our own unique? What makes ours unique is this tracking system. The prototype, we had a little technical issues there. So when you press the track, it will tell you that a notification will be sent to you soon. Then the notification will be sent to you. Then if you like, you can click it and you'll be seeing the GPS and where they are going to. And then if you don't like, it will still send a notification to you telling you that your child is reached school safely or your child is back home safely. I believe that is all. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, giving us the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation. And don't worry, the technical glitches, Figma does that a lot of times, so it's good. Okay, so I'd like to know what did you use to design this? Right? Well, what did you use to design this? And any challenges when you were designing?
We use Figma to design this thing.
Most of the major challenges we faced was glitching. And then we also faced problems like our system would go off when we are far away. We have already done something good, then to go off, then we have to restart and time waste and stuff like that.
Okay, so I have a series of questions, but I'm going to keep it very short. Now, this app is it what makes it, why should a parent decide to go with your app instead of using like maybe the school bus option that is available?
Most of the school bus options that are available now, parents find it hard to stick to it. How many parents use the school bus app? Very few. And then we are creating an alternative. The school bus, as I said earlier, there's something like this out here. But then we are in a technological world, so we engage them by giving them something they can use. The school bus app does not have, the school bus option does not have an app. The school can use their school bus, but then the drivers and the cars would be put into the apps.
Does the app work offline and online? So it only works online. So if there's no network, I can't track anything. You said it doesn't work offline.
Yes, but then we can create an option for that. I'll take that down.
Okay, so yeah, what is the scope of your application? Is it narrowed to just people who reside in Kaduna, or it's something that is in Nigeria, like the entire Nigeria?
It's not only for people who are in Kaduna. You can also walk around the world, like in many other countries.
Okay, so a parent can tell if their child is going out of Kaduna.
Yes, Because of the GPS.
Because of the GPS.
Well done, well done, well done. You didn't tell us your brand name anyway. Ghettos. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought ghettos. Ah, no, no, no. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Thank you very much. As I said, maybe let me just do some redefinition. When we call the design again, let them listen before clapping hands, huh? Because we have another design team. Is that we are expecting, have you observed, parents, judges, please, I'm not talking to you, you can do all your rubrics and so on and so forth. The next is coding, please. Coding. Team, champions team, coding. So, but have you observed, parents, that when you are flipping your phone, for example, you are looking for WhatsApp. Are you really looking for the name WhatsApp? Or you are looking for, what are you looking for? Is it green or icon? Have you observed that? Did you try to make mistake that maybe you wanted to click, you were looking for, like for me, it's green I'm looking for, anything green. Sometimes I can make mistake and then go and type and don't go and click something, but it's not WhatsApp. Has it happened to you before? That you've just mental model, they call it, right? Good. So you see, one of the things that these are kids in this track are trained. They are trained so that they can be so conscious. They develop the prototype for us. Then when they develop a prototype, we have the next group now who are coming. That's how in the industry, they now say, wow, it has been made easy for us. We tell us this is how the design should be. Then they come and you can see their own is all about writing something that we don't understand. Then at the end of the day, the thing should just be an action. So now we want to see these ones are also writing. The first group are doing a lot of graphics, design, putting so many things in place. Pictures where it's supposed to be, ribbons where it's supposed to be. But these ones, they will just pick that thing, though not the same, but how will they be able to write it? So we have a presentation also by them, and that's why they call it code. They are going to be writing, telling us how they were able to do those write-ups to give us a solution. So can we welcome XYZ team? Can we welcome them to the podium, please? Remember, you have 3 to 5 minutes. Problem, specifically, solution.
Good day, everyone. We are Group 1, also known as the Legends. We are a team of 7 passionate individuals who are ready to solve problems in the society and tackle challenges. First of all, on behalf of the entire team, I would like to thank everyone for giving us this opportunity. With me we have, my name is David Sambo. With me we have
Abakar Sadiq Ahmad, Zaman Michael,
Shambulus,
Amina Ahmad Musa,
Muhammad Al-Amin Suleiman,
Blessed Chad Benjamin.
Good day, everyone. How many of you wanted a tutor? And how many of you realize that they're expensive or didn't know from where to start? You are not alone. According to the World Economic Forum's report, it states that over 1 billion students need reskilling by 2030, but paid platforms are costly and free contents are often impersonal. Meanwhile, a LinkedIn survey shows that 80% of students want to share their knowledge and learn a new thing in return, but don't have a platform to do it. That is when Study Swap comes in. Study Swap is a web app whereby you can exchange your skills, like your study. For example, let's say I know how to do biology and Muhammad here know how to do civic. Muhammad is going to tutor me on civic and I'm going to tutor Muhammad on biology. This is a direct barter system. Unlike apps like Udemy that are paid, we are free. Unlike apps like YouTube, we're interactive and personalized. Muhammad here is going to walk us through our prototype.
So this is the simple web app. It's called Study Swap. So for you to use it, you have to log in or register. If you register, you get your credentials to log in. And for you to log in, you need to register. So input a username, David, then the password, then we register. So now you now log in with the same credentials. So after logging in, this is the dashboard of the app. So this is the acceptance criteria, the subject. You enter the subject that you want to know about or you want to learn. Maths, then the topic. Then you now input your phone number and now post. So after posting, everyone that uses the app will see your phone number and all the rest. So here's different posts from different users. They will be found here in order to find matches. So these are the matches. If you click on the find match, if someone has the same interest as you, if someone wants to teach what you want to learn, so if you click on the find matches, then you find the matches. Thank you.
The prototype is still under work, but this is just basically what we have. And we're going to.
In conclusion, we as a team of 7 have combined our skills, creativity, and determination to tackle this challenge that has been brought upon us. We hope our invention will be able to create new ideas and demonstrate the power of teamwork. Thank you.
Okay. Well done, and thank you for a wonderful presentation. So my concern is putting your phone number there. Won't there be security issue? And then secondly, how do I identify your study swap, right? How do I identify it? Is there any logo for me to know this is you?
For the security, we are going to look into that, and the logo, she's going to talk about it.
Thank you for that wonderful question. The prototype is still under work, but we're going to have high encryption and cloud-based, whereby the students are going to talk and chat on that platform, not outside the platform. And also for the question that you asked about the logo, it's still under work, but forward on our next phase, we're going to make logos and bring about more improvement into it. Thank you.
We'll use this one. Thank you very much for your presentation. Can you speak to me about the tools that you use to build this application?
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful question. We are able to produce this web app with the use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The HTML, as the name implies, is hypertext markup language. So we make use of tags such as H1, P tag to produce all the writings you see in the web app, while the CSS is used for the styling, such as the background color, the border, the curved edges or round edges, and the color. So, and the CSS, we can use both, we can use different types such as internal, inline, and external. And for the JavaScript, we used it to add the functionality to the page. That's how we were able to have the register button, which help you to get your credentials for the login. Because without registering, you cannot log in. So, and the JavaScript, we also have 3 types, which is internal, inline, and external. Thank you.
Okay, so for the registration page, you showed the sign in and sign up. I don't know, is that for the tutor or for the student? It's a student also. It's the same platform they are using for the registration.
Okay, since it's a prototype, we want to add one more feature,
which allows you to register as a student or a teacher.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Are teachers going to also be on the platform, or this is strictly students tutoring students as well?
Actually, you can sign in as a student. If you want to learn from your fellow mates, you can register and look for your fellow
Student
students.
to teach you.
Yes, to teach you. Or if you want to learn from a teacher, someone that you think that
So,
will give you more knowledge than your other fellow
but you said
colleagues.
it's not paid. So why will I, as a teacher, register on a platform to give my services and not receive payment? Because you have contradicted your whole problem statement from the onset.
Sorry, for our problem statement, for this one is between students, but for future we're going to bring about teachers. But for now, it's student to student, and there's no money.
Okay.
It's course
So now
swapping.
let's work with that. Student to student, what are the operational hours? Because normally, if you're getting a lesson teacher, you say, okay, you come maybe Monday to Wednesday, you do maybe 2 hours tutoring my child. Now, as a student who just got back from school, and I want to help my other students, how many hours do I have to actively be on it? Is there a routine? Do we discuss this amongst ourselves? How does it work?
Thank you for that question. We just connect them. They are going to negotiate their times on how they want to communicate together.
Do you think that parents would be comfortable knowing that their students or their kids could get distracted from their own lessons by tutoring another child?
This app doesn't distract them, rather it helps them improve on their studies.
That makes sense, yeah.
Thank you.
The legends. Ah, I want to be a kid, please. I want to enroll for this program. Kai, we are battling with this. We know ourselves. This at 400 level, we know what we are talking about in Nigeria. We know what is called 400 level now. Computer science. Some of us, we know to do this. Do we know? Let's put our hands together for them. This was within 1 hour. They've developed the problem. They've preferred solution. It simply means parents don't have headache. Just say, please, I need this thing in 2 hours. They will do it for you. They know their team. The legend. And the first one, A to Z, right? 8 holes. Thank you very much. We are going to be having the next coding team. Come, are we ready? I expect them to be here, set up their things. I don't need to call you, please. When we are doing this, come and set up so that the next thing should go for presentation. Coding.
Good day, respected judges, parents, teachers, and my fellow students. I am by name Afra Hajaper, a member of Quantum Coders, and here we have
Aisha Muhammad,
Justin Jonathan,
Ibrahim Ishaq,
Excel Obi,
Hassan Suleiman,
Michael Douglas.
And today we are here to present our project. We are here to present our project, Assignment Tracker. Assignment Tracker is a website designed for students to make learning easier, fairer, and fun. In our school and in many others, we have noticed something. Many students want help with their assignments due to lack of textbooks at home, libraries in school, or even find someone to teach them. And so knowledge stays hidden when it could have been shared. That's why we created Assignment Tracker. Assignment Tracker connects students who want help with various subjects when assignments are given.
We built Assignment Tracker using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Assignment Tracker is a simple website which you use to track your assignment for simple reading, etc. For example, you have a group of students from TYK, for example. They come, they read, they go back to their houses, but they forgot to do their assignment. They forgot to carry their assignment. They could have a simple, innovative website on their phones, laptops, etc., which should track their assignments for them. For now, we store data locally using local storage, but we plan to move on to the Firebase to make it fully online, where people can easily access it, etc. Where students can create accounts and access Assignment Tracker anywhere. Thank you.
This is how our app works. When you log in, when you enter the app, you have to log in. After logging on, after registering, then you log into account, and this is the dashboard.
So the benefit of these apps, it helps improve your learning proficiency and efficiency. It helps you to stay in track with your assignments so that you will not be able to go to school and then start copying. And for future use, you will update the app so that you can be able to understand it. When you understand it, you can explain it to other people. For example, you go to school and your teacher says, explain the assignment. You'll be able to explain it based on what you have done. Then it builds a supportive student community. When we update the app, there's going to be a community where you can learn, you can offer help, and you can also add what you know so that you can be able to teach other people. You can also add some books or some titles on what you know so that you can teach other people. It enhances problem solving and communication skills. When you are talking to your fellow classmates or your fellow students, he's telling you what he knows and it's helping you people to communicate well. So when you are communicating well, it gives you that understanding. You have more understanding than anything. Thank you.
With this website, students can easily access different subjects and have their assignments done. In conclusion, Assignment Tracker is more than just a project. It's a movement. How? A movement where students get empowered, where knowledge is acquired, and where learning never stops. We believe that when students get education, everyone wins. Thank you.
All right. What's the name of your group?
Quantum Coders.
Phantom Coders.
Quantum Coders.
Quantum Coders. Okay. All right. First of all, I really want to give you kudos because there's a lot of stuff that is being done that is not shown here on stage. You just have 5 minutes to do presentation. I think we the judges, we had the opportunity of seeing you guys work together as a team. And I think if I'm going to give high marks on team effort and team collaboration, I'm going to give it to Quantum Coders. You guys showed teamwork while you guys were up there working, and I want to really recognize that and tell you kudos. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Well done. Nice teamwork.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for that presentation. I'd like to understand. So you had 1 hour to work on this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you decide who is doing what to be able to come up with this kind of awesome solution.
So we divided the work into groups. Some of us we did the index, some of us we did dashboard, and some of us we did the register and login.
It's me again. Sorry. So this app, if I get the general scope of it, is to send reminders that you should do your assignment. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's a reminder app, and then on it also I can have somebody volunteer to do my assignment. I can do somebody's assignment.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to add in anything?
Not only doing somebody's assignment, you explain it to the person so that the person can be able to defend it.
Okay. So now, that reminder, if I get that notification, what stops me from snoozing it and forgetting it?
The reminder will keep on coming till you are able to do it.
One more question. So now, do I get paid? It's like, so you're on the app, she's on the app, and you want to help her with her assignments. Do you get paid for doing the assignments, or it's totally free? I'm just learning in the process.
It's totally free, but we'll think of that.
Okay, well done. My question is, who verifies if the assignment is correct or not?
When you go to school, your teacher will tell you if it's right or wrong.
I'm not sure of.
If you think about it, some of these.
Okay, but to what you said now, if the assignment is wrong and I get a big 0, can I go back on the app and report the person that did the assignment for me?
You can never get 0. Because
In the future, I'm trying to make it a community. We are trying to make it a community that everybody can come together
Multiple
to brainstorm.
answers.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, I get that.
Quantum coders. No wonder you quantumized. We're in an age of what we call quantum computing that we don't have here in the country. So the coders will be able to code for us. Well done. At least one of the things I appreciate beyond the knowledge, I said every field has what we call its language. You know, when you are in economics, there's a language economics speak. When you are in English, there's a language. When you are in tech, there's a language. One thing that amazes me, that is interesting, is that these kids are using the right language within the domain. Is that not? So, already, this is no more quantum coding. This is bucket coding now. All right. We have robotics. Robotics team are on board. Can we put our hands together for them one more time, please? Are we set?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying your day. So first we'll start by our introduction, and with me here are my colleagues.
Hi, my name is David John.
Hello everyone, my name is Isabella Kadani.
My name is Yahya Suleiman Jiri.
And my name is Joshua Isaac. And we are the participants of Robotics Group 1. And here we have our problem statement. So, the World Health Organization has issued a call for the innovative solutions to reduce the spread of viral infections. Meaning viral infections, we are talking about the spread of cholera. We know cholera is a deadly disease, and it comes easily when you have contact with trash. So with this innovation, you can easily dump your trash without having contact with a dustbin. So here we have traditional dustbins require touch and frequent manual checks. If you want to dump your dustbin, you know you must open it before dumping. But with this, you don't need to open it. No need for automation and enhanced hygiene, waste collection efficiency. So here we have our project overview. The World Health Organization emphasizes hygiene and reduce contact with contaminated surfaces. So with this device, we can reduce our contact with contaminated surfaces, manual waste bins, and post-infection risks.
The goal is to design a smart dustbin system that automatically opens, detects waste levels, and alerts when full. So this means that you don't need to have contact with it. When it senses you from 25 distance away, it's centimeters away, it opens. Then when you get closer to it, you cannot trash whatever you want to trash. So then when you step backward, it closes. Thank you.
The objectives of this is to design and automate a contact dustbin system, to integrate sensors for users and waste level detection, to ensure the system alerts when the bin is full, to promote hygiene, safety, and cleanliness, opens and closes automatically when someone approaches or leaves, tracks waste levels and sends alerts to authorities when the bin is full, and ensures minimal contact, reducing infection risk. This means that when you approach the dustbin, it's supposed to open automatically without you having contact with it. So when it does that, you trash whatever you want to trash. It closes, and then the no contact, so you don't have to like risk yourself being infected with any diseases or germs.
So now we have the key components and their functions. We have the Arduino Uno, which is the microprocessor and the brain of this invention. So we have the microprocessor, which is the Arduino Uno, processes input from sensors and control servo and LED. So the servo motor here is the one that opens the bin when you want to trash anything that. And the ultrasonic sensors, we have two ultrasonic sensors, which the first one senses when the bin is full, and the second one senses your approach. Then we have the servo motor. As I said, the servo motor opens and closes the lid automatically. Then we have the LED indicator, which is placed here. It alerts you when the bin is full. Then we have the power supply, provides power via Arduino 5 volts. So the power supply is the one that powers up the entire prototype here. So here we have the system design, which my colleague here will be explaining to you.
The first sensor, that is the one at the front, it detects a person and triggers lid opening. Then sensor 2, the one at the bottom of the lid, it coordinates sensor input and motor output. Then we have the LED, which indicates that the bin is full. Lead. So here is like the code we used for the Arduino and the rest of the components. When you approach, the ultrasonic sensor detects within 25 centimeters, which is the one at the front. Then the servo opens the lid. Lid then closes after 4 seconds. Waste detects within 10 centimeters. Then the LED turns on. Arduino sends bin full. It sends an alert saying the bin is full via Wi-Fi. Then the code we use for this is C++. So after the results and testing, we found that the simulation was successful. The lead
So sorry, we weren't able to finish the automatic and waste bin, but before the end of the day, we'll finish it. Thank you.
No, it's fine. You can hold it. You can hear me, right?
Not really, man.
So what made you, continue to try even when things were not working?
So thank you for that wonderful question. As we stated in our objectives, which though we could not finish this, we tried to finish it because we know this is not just an ordinary dustbin. It helps to save lives, as we said, because cholera is a fast spreading disease which deals with contacts. So with this bin, we know that you must not have contact with it. Once you come, it opens. So that triggers that that so that triggers the mindset of ours to try to finish this up, because we know that it might not just affect others, it might affect us. So we have this affection that is in the affection for ourselves and others.
Okay. Thank you. So when it's full, how do you dispose it? Without contact, how do you dispose it?
When it's full, there are some future enhancements we are going to make. So we are going to add a wheel to it. So when it's full, and the wheel will start moving, and the bin is going to flip. Then the waste will start coming out. Then when it's done, it will close and remain how it was.
So, first of all, congratulations. I must say I've been simply blown away, not just by your inventions, but the sheer power of your intellect. Answering those questions off the cuff is just amazing. I was saying to the judges, even though you said it's not part of the criteria that you were given, but I think it's important to think about even at this stage. What is the cost of the beans and what is the cost of getting it to market? All innovations are not innovations except they can be used and distributed. Part of that means that a cost is associated to it. So have you thought about that? What will be the cost of production and then
Yes.
cost to market?
Okay, yes, we have thought about that, and very soon our future enhancements will be like making a website for it that you can browse it online, and then marketing, because we are just starting, so we'll be hoping to team up with any organization like Kepa. So from there you can get your distributions if you want it in whole.
Nice. You don't need to even say much, right? I want to particularly say well done. When we were going around as judges, there is something that actually caught my attention with this group, and that is how you guys kept talking to yourselves while you were working.